everybody, and welcome to this episode of Dinners with Donna. Do you know what? Are we 7 this week or 8? Or I don't even remember what episode we're on. I always go to Nick, my technical advisor. But so welcome in, everybody. Today is a very special cooking show. We are doing my first ever cooking collaboration with my good friend Lynn from the Lynn Project, and she will be coming on shortly. I just wanted to welcome everyone in and say thank you to all of my channel members, and I appreciate all of you. Today we're going to be making Chef Art Smith's hummingbird cake and his church lady deviled eggs from his restaurant Homecomin. And so I think that's it. Oh, and we will be cooking again next week for my regularly scheduled stream. So without further ado, let's bring in my good friend Lynn. Hi, Lynn.
Hi everyone. I'm so excited.
This is going to be awesome. Okay. So have you been to Chef Art Smith's?
I actually have never been there.
Okay. So you have not tried these yet. You're going to love them.
Yes.
Great. Okay. And I know you like deviled eggs. You told me you do. So this is going to be perfect.
Yes.
Okay. This is great. So, okay. What we're going to start with, I think, is the cake, so we can get it in the oven because it's got to bake and cool and all that. And then we can take it from there. But so I want to talk about you a little bit, though, because, Lynn goes live every Thursday for her show, The Lynn Project, on her channel. And on Saturday morning, she does Coffee and Contemplation with Josh from Triple P. So do you want to talk about your channel a little bit before we get going?
Sure. Yeah. I started my YouTube channel because I love Disney and we started going, and I was like, I want to do this. I want to share what I know and my family's adventures and do other things too. We used to go all the time, but then, 2020 happened and that kind of halted everything. So I'm changing the dynamic of my channel a little bit to do more things in South Florida since it's a little bit more difficult to get up to Orlando. So doing South Florida attractions.
Your Butterfly World video. If you guys haven't seen it, you've got to check it out. One of my moms could post a link to her Butterfly World video. It's so much fun. She did a great job.
Thanks, Donna. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It freaked me out a little bit because I'm a bugaphobe, but I did it anyways. And just showing off those attractions. I'm also a bartender. That's what I do for a living. I love it. So I share drink recipes every Thursday on my live stream. Right now we're in spooky season, so I'm theming all the drinks off of that and just switch it up, and make drinks in commemoration to different people in the community, and that's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. I like to laugh and have fun, and I'm goofy and I spill things a lot and I break things a lot. So.
That's okay. We do the same thing. That's why we're good friends, because we are the we're both
great.
Oh, and Pete McDevitt, a $5 super chat. 2 incredible cooks. Please hit the like button and share out the stream, everyone. Oh yeah, the producer is okay too. Please mail me deviled eggs. Pete, you're talking. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to start with the hummingbird cake. And usually, Lynn, what I do is go over the ingredients with everybody so that if they're cooking along or they want to take notes, they can do so. So I thought since the cake list is kind of long, we'll do it in halves. And sure. I'll read the first part, and then you can start at the bananas, okay?
Okay, got it.
All right, so we start with 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of granulated sugar, a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a half teaspoon of salt,
2 cups of chopped ripe bananas, 1 cup drained crushed pineapple, 1 cup vegetable oil, 2 large eggs beaten, 1.5 teaspoons pure vanilla extract, and 1 cup 4 ounces of chopped pecans, which is optional, which I'm not using because I don't like crunch in my cake.
Right. Or if you have a nut or tree nut allergy or anything like that, then you can definitely omit that. Or you can also, if you don't like pecans and you like another kind of nut, substitute the nut of your choice. We're nutty around here, right, Lynn? So.
Definitely got 2 on screen right now.
So, okay, so let's get started. So I've got my oven already preheated to 350.
Mine too.
Okay, so we're good to go. And then it says to make sure your oven racks are in the right position. I also did that. And I already also sprayed my round cake pans. Oops, I've got these non-stick ones. So I don't need to flour and all that with these because they're ceramic and coated. So I just sprayed it with like non-stick cooking spray. So there you go. I've got 2 of them. All right. Yeah, we're good.
I bought these from Publix, and I haven't floured them or anything yet. Do you think I still need to? Because they're probably cheap, and I should.
I would just spray the bottom lightly. If you have non-stick spray, you should be good.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what the recipe says to do next. Okay, so get your pans ready. We're doing that now. And if you want to, I don't know if you have parchment paper, Lynn, but if you choose to, you can also put parchment paper in the bottom. I think that's a little overkill, but yeah.
I forgot. I ran out. I have this much left. So
I try to do as simple and as few things as I can.
Like that.
Not complicated as I can. All right, so now it says we need to sift the flour, sugar, baking soda, cinnamon, and salt. So basically the dry ingredients into a big bowl. So I've got my big bowl, and this is my sifter. I just got this colander. It was like $2. Yeah. So
I didn't have to buy one.
I did my flour, guys, ahead of time because I know I'm very messy, and I knew it would get all over my kitchen. So here's the flour, but I didn't do all the rest. So we're going to do all the rest together.
Oh, well, I didn't sift, so I'll sift while you're starting that stuff.
Yeah, we'll sift together. And then I did the flour, but now I've got to do the sugar. So here's my 2 cups of sugar. And that's going to go through the sifter.
Woohoo! This is fun.
Oh, you have like the real deal sifter. I used to have one of those, and then when I moved to Florida, I don't have it anymore. So I'm just going old school with my $2 colander.
I'm the proud new owner. I just got this from Publix today.
Oh, that's so cool. That's good to know that they sell those there. I never even knew they had those there.
It was the last one.
That's awesome. So you got it while the getting was good, right?
What?
You got it while the getting was good.
Yeah, I almost took a picture like, haha, I got the last one.
Oh, sorry, guys, you got the last one. And you know what else I'm wondering now that I'm doing this? Instead of using granulated sugar and having to sift it, if you don't have to sift it, I mean, it's just taking a couple minutes, but if you're pressed for time, I would buy, and I keep in the pantry too, super fine sugar that's already been like through this process. So you don't have to sift it, but this is fine.
You can see the I don't know if you guys can see. This is what was in the bottom of it. Can you see that?
Clumps. You get lots of clumps, and that you're trying to get as fine as you can. So that's the purpose. If anyone was wondering why we're sifting, that's why, to get all those lumps out of there. It's like mashed potatoes. You don't want lumps in your mashed potatoes. So.
No. No one wants lumpy potatoes.
No one likes a lumpy potato. All right. Yeah, the sugar takes a little while too. And if it gets to the bottom, like see mine's at the bottom and it's kind of not going through anymore, I'm just going to try to force it through with a little spatula.
I contemplated getting the super fine sugar.
Did you contemplate with your coffee?
I did. I always contemplate while I'm drinking coffee. I can't contemplate without coffee, that's for sure.
Me either. You know, I'm always late for your show. I always feel bad because I'm always stuck in a Starbucks line. It's so long. Are your Starbucks lines long where you live too?
Always. Always.
Ridiculous.
I mobile order and then park and run in and grab it. Always. Always.
Yep, me too. I do the same thing and it's still a line. Go figure.
Starbucks is so good.
I know it is. I love their cold brew. I wish I could make it at home, but I haven't been able to replicate it yet. Not as good as theirs comes out.
It's so good. I can't read any of chat, you guys. I'm so sorry. Hi, everyone. If you're saying hi.
Oh, should we do a chat check next?
Yes. So I'm here by the way, but today's setup is a
different.
little different than normal, so it's kind of less work for me almost. It's like a week off for me, if that makes sense. But hello to Candy Mom, LSU Mom, all the moms.
Hi, Mom.
Samantha Lowe, Happy's Haunt, ALJ, Strive to Do Better.
Oh, Cody. Hi, Cody.
Tina McNeil.
Tina.
Craig's Robotics.
Hi, Craig.
Julie Young.
Julie.
Mar in Memphis.
Mar.
Scarlett Penford.
Oh, hi, Scarlett.
It's Joey's World.
Hi, it's
Amy
Joey.
and Todd.
Hi, Amy and Todd.
R. Johns.
I know him.
Right. You might convert Richie Rates later.
Yeah.
Edgar Mode.
Hi, Edgar.
Reese is here.
Reese.
Harrington's Love Disney.
Hi, Harrington's Love Disney.
Jersey Mike.
Hi, Jersey Mike.
And Jesse Gottlieb.
Hi, Jesse.
Let's see. ALJ.
Oh, you said perfect. Yes. Hi, ALJ.
I repeated all them.
Yep.
Donna J.
Hi, Donna J. All the Donnas are
Another
here. I love
Donna
it.
J.
All the Donnas.
Faith. And
Hi.
Surf Bum.
Oh, hi, Surf Bum.
Pamela V.
Hi, Pamela.
Pete McDevitt.
Pete.
I said it's JoJo. Pepper Tree Villa.
Oh, hi, PTV. So good to see you.
Rob Fuzz.
Rob.
And that's as far back as I can go.
And that's as far back as he can go. So if we didn't get you, just say hi again, and we'll get you now. All right.
Hi, everyone.
Nick's good at that. He's the chat guy. All right. So I did my sugar. So now I've got the cinnamon and the baking soda and the salt. I pre-measured it.
You're so prepared.
And then we're going to sip that in there too.
Can we take a count of my nails while we're starting so we know how many to look for in the cake?
Oh, no, stop that. You're going to do just
right now.
You're not going to lose any nails in the making of this cake.
I'm not hurt any hummingbirds.
Yeah, we will not hurt any hummingbirds. No hummingbirds will be harmed.
All right, it was one.
Yep, I'll help you out with the measurements because I remember it's a teaspoon of the baking soda and a teaspoon of cinnamon and a half a teaspoon of salt. There we go. And now I sifted mine, so I'm just going to whisk it all together with my whisk so it gets all incorporated for all the goodness we're going to be here.
Oh,
Just, Lynn said she didn't like crush in her cake, so nails aren't allowed.
That's right. Tell it, Mar.
Oh, crunch.
It might be chewy by the time it bakes. I don't know.
It could. It might melt in. I don't know.
Candy Mom says, I'm on my way for some of this cake.
Ooh, that sounds great. Okay, so that's basically our dry ingredients, guys. I'm just going to show you what mine looks like. There.
I can actually full screen you.
Oh, okay, just for a second. And
Yeah.
there, I mixed everything together so all the spices and the salt and everything's incorporated into, and the sugar, into the flour. So that's going to be set aside for now. Now comes our wet ingredients, and I'm going to have to chop bananas. So I didn't want them to oxidate, which means they'll basically turn brown and then to black if you cut them too soon. So you need 2 cups of chopped or mashed bananas, however you'd like to do it. So I'm going to get working on that. And I dropped my whisk, so I'm going to go pick it up.
The word of today, oxidate.
Oxidate.
I didn't know that word.
Okay. Hi, Karen.
It says chopped, but I just mash when I make banana bread.
Great, whatever you like to do. This is your cake, and you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
I think the point is just to get it to a small consistency. Like, you don't want to put them in like that. Oops.
Right.
Because that's too big. But I'm going to kind of like quarter them and see if that works.
So are we going to start with 2 and then see how much we have after that?
Yeah. That sounds like a plan.
Ready for Christmas time over there.
I know.
Someone's at the door. That happened last stream too.
I know. I get special visitors that just kind of appear. The first stream I did, Lynn, was on Nick's channel, and I was making the egg rolls from Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Someone rang my doorbell, and it was the pest control guy wanting to sell me pest control. And he stayed, and I explained to him I was doing it in the middle of a stream, and he was talking to me for like 15 minutes, and I'm like, I kind of didn't know, but I didn't want to be rude. I was like, what do I do?
Like, we don't have any pests around here. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Happy Hopper is here.
Oh, hi, Happy Hopper.
Faith, Hope, and
Oh,
Disney, aka Barbara.
Barbara. Hi, Barbara.
Who's Barbara?
What? I'm sorry, Lynn.
Who's Barbara?
Oh, Faith, Hope, and Disney Barbara.
Oh, yeah. AKA Barbara. So the reason I mash is because I try to do the least amount of things with knives as possible because I have a bad track record.
Yeah, I know your track record. I totally get it.
So I have about that much bananas. Oops.
That looks about right. I'm doing 4 bananas just because I want it really banana-y. But it says to do about 2 cups worth, which, you can eyeball it. I don't think it has to be, like, exact.
Britt from Triple P is here.
Britt, welcome in. How's baby Evie and Addie doing? I know Addie's birthday is coming up. That's exciting.
All Hallows Eve.
And it's funny because she loves all things spooky.
It's so awesome.
All right. Quiet right now. Well, for me, it's because I'm chopping this banana. Like Lynn, I don't want to have an accident and hurt myself.
Don't follow Lynn.
More.
No fingers were injured in the filming of this.
We don't want fingers in the cake. That would be lady fingers, and we're not making lady fingers today. Fingers in the cake.
Question for you: do you want to pin at the top again what we're making?
Oh, that would be
I
wonderful.
I see a few people ask. I'll be right back.
Sure. And I'll tell them too while you're doing that. So guys, we are making Chef Art Smith's hummingbird cake that he serves at his restaurant Homecomin at Disney Springs. It's a really great cake. It's got pineapple and bananas in it, and nuts if you like. I got this cake gifted to me, a nice big slice of it on my birthday last year because I had my birthday lunch at Chef Art Smith's. And it was, well, Richard said, I think it's the best cake he's ever had. Is that correct, Richard?
Yeah.
He says, yes, it was very good. He's a man of few words. You know that, Lynn.
I love it.
Mystery.
So you guys have all had the actual cake from Chef Art Smith's?
Yeah, it's so good. Homecomin is one of my favorite restaurants. I think you'd really like it. There are a lot of good options if you're vegetarian or vegan. So yeah, I think you'd really enjoy it there. Their deviled eggs are amazing. I've had their chicken is great. Their biscuits. Remember, we were thinking about making the biscuits. They're really good too. So I'm gonna put these.
Yeah, the cheddar drop biscuits, but we didn't need another baking item. We needed something to do in between the baking.
I'm just rinsing my hands from a banana. See, and that's the other good part about mashing versus chopping is because I'm holding the banana, it gets a little sticky.
Right.
So, but whatever your preference is, I say go for it. If you want to chop it, chop it. If you want to mash. It's all good. Okay, so now we chop the bananas. Now we're going to add the pineapple to our, do you have both? Okay. Do you think it's big enough for all the wet ingredients or do you need a bigger bowl?
Oh, wait, we're adding
Pineapple oil.
the dry to the wet, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I've got my bananas, guys, and I'm going to add my pineapple, which I drained. Now, this is a key with your pineapple. You need to drain it really, really well. Otherwise, there's going to be too much liquid in it, and it's going to make your cake all runny and thin and not good at all. You won't get the right consistency. So I really drained it well. I put it through a strainer, and then I also put it in paper towels and squeezed all the extra liquid out. And there was a lot in there. So that's what I'm reduced to with a 20-ounce can of pineapple. That's what's left. And that's
one more squeeze for good luck, so I don't have a runny cake.
Yeah, isn't it surprising how much liquid you get out of that?
Yeah, it's like a full glass of pineapple juice.
Crazy. Okay, so then we've got, let's see, bananas, pineapple, oil, eggs, and vanilla. Okay, so oil, here's our oil's gonna go into the bowl. And then you guys already know, who watch regularly, that we always pre-break our eggs, I do, into a separate container so we don't get shells in there. And if we do, we can start over. Or if you get a bad egg, because you never know, and you don't want to ruin the whole cake and then have to start over. So I always do it in a separate little vessel. And this called for beaten eggs, so I already beat them. So there's 2 beaten eggs right there. They're going in.
You're so much more prepared than me.
Oh, stop.
Mars says, did Lynn save her pineapple juice for her drinks?
I did.
Good idea. Oh, and
They were all out of the small containers of vegetable oil, so I got this one. Doesn't it look like laundry detergent?
It does, doesn't it? Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I'm like, that's funny. I feel a little bit weird about it, but
Yeah, you're good. Okay, so then we got our vanilla. So put the vanilla in.
1.5.
Yes, 1.5 teaspoons. Just a tad extra because that was the bottom of my vanilla, so I have to start a new bottle.
Oh my gosh, I think I do too. Oh, I just made it.
Isn't it awesome when you just make it?
I have a backup.
There we go. Okay, we're good now. Because we're going to need vanilla for the frosting as well.
What are we gonna need for frosting?
The vanilla, more vanilla.
Oh yeah.
So we're just going to mix this. I'm just using my little rubber spatula, silicone spatula, to mix the wet ingredients all together.
So Donna, question, are you a one-hand egg cracker or do you use 2?
I used to. I'm not that. I'm not that skilled. How about you?
Every time I've tried, I drop eggshells in there.
Yeah, it just never works out for me. I know my limits. Let me put it that way.
Exactly, same.
And hi, Christina Bills. Welcome in. All right. So now, if you want to present just for a second.
Just you?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to just show you guys what it looks like after you mix it. And that's what you're looking at there. So it's all, incorporated, all the wet ingredients. All right. This is looking good already. So now do we, yep, and he says do not use an electric mixer. And then, okay, we're pouring the wet into the dry, which is good.
Wet into the dry.
Yep, and then we're gonna fold it in, make a cake batter. Look at that. This wasn't bad.
Do you fold it in as you go?
No, I just poured the whole thing in at once, and then I'm just gonna fold it in to incorporate.
I'm gonna make a little volcano style thing.
Shatoya says Donna can do anything. She's a superwoman.
Oh, I don't know, Shatoya. Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Definitely agree with that.
And look at this, Lynn. I mean, we made a cake batter from scratch, and it did not take us that long.
Be a lot of dishes for the kids to do after this.
That's our job.
And for Richie.
It'll be worth it though.
And this is a pretty thick batter from what I'm gathering. I don't know how yours is turning out.
So officially arm day.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really getting thick.
Yep. But I think what's going to happen is the liquid from the pineapple and bananas is going to loosen the cake up a bit when we're baking it. It almost looks
so
like
much darker. Yours looks so much darker.
Yeah. Here, I'll show you what mine looks like. How's yours look?
Oh, I got still a little bit of flour in there. Mix it a little bit more, but
if you added the nuts.
I did not add the nuts because I didn't see it say to add the nuts yet. Oh, we do that last. We fold in the pecans last. That's why. It says, the recipe says, do not use an electric mixer, which we didn't. Then we pour the wet into the dry, which we just did, and then fold it together. We did that. Do not beat. So be careful not to overmix. Then we fold in the pecans if we want to. And I've got my chopped pecans. They're going in. And I guess that's to keep the integrity of the nuts so we don't make like pecan dust, right?
Right. Yeah, Bill says Donna is the Jedi master of the kitchen. She makes the ingredients bend to her will.
Those potato brownies, I don't know if you saw that show, Lynn. Richard's reaction was priceless. He threw the brownie down. He did not like it at all.
The vegan one? Was that?
Yeah, the one that was keto.
Oh, keto. That's what I meant. Yeah. No, he hated those so much.
That man needs sugar.
Alex Kennett says, please ask Donna, kitchen goddess, if she knows why it's called a hummingbird cake.
I do not, but I have a theory. I think it's because it's so sweet because it has 2 cups of sugar, pineapple, and bananas in it. And as we know, hummingbirds thrive on sugar. And I'm thinking that's where the term came to be. But if any of my trusty helpers here want to Google it, and we'll see if I'm right or even close, or if I just talk a good game.
I think that's a great theory. I mean, I never really thought about why.
Yeah.
But
This is a strange name for a cake.
Sean Rogers says, for some food, if you place it on a plate or etc. and put it in the fridge uncovered for 15 to 20 minutes, it will remove some of the moisture out of it, such as the bananas.
That is very true, Sean. And hello, and thank you for that. That's excellent advice right there.
So these are supposed to be 9-inch pans, right?
Correct. Do you have 9 or 8?
8. They didn't have 9-inch pans.
That's okay. Just divide the batter evenly between the 2 pans, and it just may take about 5 minutes or so longer for yours to bake than mine.
Or should I put like a little extra in a cupcake thing or something?
Yeah, if you want to do that, go for it. And I don't know. I mean, this to me seems thicker than a cake batter, like a traditional cake batter. What do you think, Lynn?
How much do you think it's going to rise? Because it looks like I could put the whole thing in this.
Yeah. I think it's going to give a bit of rise. So if you have, I would just still do it because we want to stack them when we frost them and everything. So I just do between the 2 pans. If you don't think you need the cupcake pan, then just put it all in the 2 you have, and you should be good to go.
I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to put it in there.
A little extra rise, it's not going to hurt anything.
So there's a few questions.
Sure.
Too. Jennifer Pickles says, can you ask Donna if she has ever had the chocolate pecan pie at Homecoming? If so, does she have the recipe?
Yes. Actually, I have not tried that yet. We love the hummingbird cake so much that's usually what we go back for. But I do want to venture out because I hear also they have a terrific chocolate cake there as well now. And it looks divine. So I've got to go and maybe like on a dessert dinner, and instead of dinner have dessert. Just try all the desserts, and then we can share them. How's that?
Pete McDevitt says, when are we cooking the hummingbirds? According to our John, they're similar to chicken. I don't know if it's true or not.
I don't know if you trust our Johns.
And Walter Graham.
Oh, Jackie, welcome in. It's so good to see you.
And if you guys have a question for Donna or for Lynn, you can write at Magical News Live because it'll tag me. I'll write my little at thing in the chat, but it tags me, so it's a little easier to see them.
Donna J said, the creative of the hours of the makeup.
Well, there you go then. Yummy.
Don't worry, Richie, I can't point it at you.
You want to take some of that?
Sure.
What are you doing now, Donna?
Okay, so my taste testers are tasting a little bit of the batter, just a little bit. Oh, Richard likes it because he took the bowl.
Okay.
Okay. So it went into the cake pans very nicely, I have to say. Here it is, all ready to go in. I've got 2 of them. So I'm going to put mine in the oven then. You ready for the oven?
Yeah, I am.
And I say we check them after like 30, just to be safe.
I think on the middle rack. Should I move it down one more?
Let me see. No, I think you're good.
That'll be good.
I think you're good, yeah. Okay. So this all here is trash.
Glenn says great quality.
Oh, thank you, Glenn. Okay, we're just going to do a cleaning here because the bananas made the counter just a little sticky.
Yes, so it's a little bit of a different setup than normal. So the camera is pretty much the most part going to be stationary.
Yeah. So if I leave, it's not intentional. I'm just putting things in the oven or going to do something. Okay.
Max K says, when did Donna and Lynn start cooking?
Oh, I'll let you go first, Lynn.
I started making family dinners when I was 10. And then even before that, we'd be home all summer and my parents would be at work. So I would fend for myself. So we'd make anything in a tortilla is good, pretty much. We'd microwave it. But I really got good at cooking when I had my second child, because we actually had to start making meals, and I was home for a little while then, so I'd make breakfast, lunch, and dinner and bake every day. Then I went back to work and I cooked a little bit less, and then I became vegan for a little while. I did like a 10-day juice fast, and I haven't really cooked much since. My husband took over all the cooking after that.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm not anymore. I'm pescatarian, so. But
so you're pescatarian now. That's right, because you love. If anyone doesn't know, Lynn loves crab, and she loves and cheese. Those are her like 3 main food groups, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Now you've been to Cape May, right?
3 times in like 3 months.
Right. That's the place to go if you like crab, for sure.
Yeah.
Sam made 6 trips and piled her plate as high as she could with crab. Like, she loves crab. So someday when it reopens, we need to go together, and you and Sam can eat and enjoy the crab together.
I'm on at least 3 hours of your day.
That's okay. That's what it's for. It's so much fun. And for me, I started cooking when I was about like 7 or 8 years old. My parents both worked, and I would come home from school, and I enjoyed making things for my family and baking and cooking. And I think one of the first things I made, I called it shepherd's pie, but I know Disney Dan But if there's not lamb in it, it's not shepherd's pie, it's cottage pie. I think Dougie's in here so he can make sure I'm right on that. But yeah, we called it shepherd's pie at the time, but it's, ground beef with a vegetable and then the mashed potato topping on top. So that was like my first thing I made.
That's impressive for your first thing. That's not an easy thing to do. Like, that takes a lot of steps.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been an overachiever. I don't know what's wrong with me. Thank you. I'm late, but I'm going to watch the replay. Oh, thank you so much, CH. You are so kind. Thank you so much. We appreciate you very much. And welcome in.
Did you set a timer, Donna?
I'm sorry?
Did you set the timer?
I did. I set the timer for 30 minutes. Did you forget? I've done that. I've forgotten to turn my oven off a couple of times. It happens, and like I tell everybody, it's like things will happen in the kitchen. No one's perfect. I'm not perfect. If you make a mistake, we can fix it. It's not rocket science. We can make it work.
Right. Not life or death, it's food. We'll be all right.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. So while the cake is baking, do you think we should make the frosting so that we can chill it while the cake is baking and cooling? How's that?
Thing.
Okay, I'm going to go grab my stand mixer and the ingredients. So, Nick, do you want to do chat check or talk to the people for a minute?
Sure. I can talk to the people.
Talk to the people.
Hi, people.
Hi, people.
It's really hard for me to read chat unless I get.
I got it on my phone,
I know,
so you're
me
good.
too. And I can actually see it.
And we've got Casey Bryant has a question for Donna.
Sure.
Do you have a recipe for either Yachtsman potatoes?
For what?
Yachtsman potatoes.
Oh, Yachtsman potatoes, yeah.
Or the cheese grits from the wave.
I do not have one yet, but I can definitely look for some and see what I can find.
That's
I'm going to push this down.
Tasha Rogers says, Donna, your mixer is so cute.
Oh, thank you, Tasha. Yeah, it's just details I got. They were like under $10. It's really. So yeah, I love my mixer. All right. So now.
Alex says, I think you should make the frosting so you can lick the bowl. That's Rich's job.
Okay.
I have to unplug my laptop to plug the mixer in.
All right. This frosting is similar to the one we made for the filling of the carrot cake cookies that we made a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Basically a cream cheese frosting. And then you got a stick of butter, 8 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature, a pound, which is about 4.5 cups of confectioner's sugar. They tell you to sift it. I sifted mine before because I didn't want to make a poop mess everywhere because I'm that way. I would make a mess. And of course, vanilla. So it's pretty simple.
How much vanilla was it?
I think it's 2 teaspoons. Let me just double check.
1 teaspoon.
Okay, a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon.
Mike Clemens says, since it's Halloween, Donna, since it's Halloween season,
Yes.
do you have any paranormal or real personal ghost stories you could share?
Actually, I do. When I first got married way back in the mid-90s, we lived on an Indian reservation because my husband was an eye doctor for the public health service, so he serviced all the Native people, Native Americans, and Eskimo population. And so we lived on the Indian reservation and on base housing. And I had sent my girls out to play because they were being rambunctious. And I was like, why don't you guys go outside and play for a while? And they're like, okay, we're going to go to Ruby's house. And that was their little friend. And they went over. And I was in the house. And I hear children laughing. And I mean, it was clear it was children laughing. And I'm like, okay, they're playing a joke on me. They're hiding somewhere in this house. And they think they're being funny. I look everywhere. It was coming from the basement. And I went down to the basement and I'm looking everywhere and I could hear it by the washing machine and the dryer. And they were like, and they were like laughing and playing. No one was there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was like 3 years old and I'm like, this can't be happening. I don't know what's going on. And I ran upstairs and I'm like, what's going on? And then I called Ruby's house. I called her mother and said, are the girls there? She goes, oh yeah, they've been here playing for over 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah. So do you have one, Lynn?
What?
Do you have a spooky story?
No, but I used to have this reoccurring dream as a child that I still have like a fear of basements for. We built my parents got a new house and it was built from scratch like in 1990. We moved there and it was like another Indian reservation. Like there was an Indian that was like in full headdress at the bottom of the stairs. So every single time, like even until I was an adult, every time I got to the bottom step, I would peek my head out and look both ways before I would step into the full basement.
Yeah, there's something, I don't know, spiritual or something about like Indian reservations and burial grounds and things like that. Because, you know, like I said, my husband served the Native American population. When we lived in Oklahoma, we had this long hallway. And at the end of the hallway, we would occasionally see a cowboy just standing there and say anything, do anything, move or anything. But it was definitely a cowboy, and it happened numerous times over a 10-year period. So it was a little freaky.
That is creepy.
And I don't know if you guys saw, but I made a poof because, you know, I poured too much sugar in it one time because I do that. I can do a little small.
How much did you half at a time? How much did you put in the first round?
Oh, I put some the butter, the cream cheese, and I creamed it up a little bit, and now I'm adding the sugar, and then I'll add the vanilla.
So 1 pound is 16 ounces. So I can just do the whole package, right?
There you go. Perfect.
I get confused by measurements sometimes because
It's hard because it is confusing, and they don't package things, you know, like according to recipe measurements. It's no spray. Are you sifting your sugar? You don't have to.
yeah, I decided might as well. I bought the sifter. I might as well use it.
Oh, that's true. Make use of your sifter.
Oh, I'm making a mess.
I am too. Don't worry about it.
I'm going to have ants everywhere later.
I know. I get ants too.
I think that's a Florida thing, like the little palm sugar ants.
Oh my gosh, they're so annoying.
They
I
are.
had my bushes cut back because my lawn, not my lawn guy, my pest control guy said that's how they were getting in was from the shrubs were too close to the house. And that's a lot actually, cutting those back. Hi, Elena. Welcome in. Aloha. You put fingers in our costumes, so that's a good thing. Oh, hi, little girl. Welcome in. So good to see all of you. Thank you for joining us. Okay, we're going to put all this in here. It's hard because I used a big bowl. Because when I sifted the sugar, it makes it light and airy, so you need like a really big bowl.
I don't know if this is really loud on the stream. I'm sorry if it is.
How's your sifter working for you? Do you like it?
What?
Your sifter?
Yeah, it's really old schooly, like with a little. My mom had one, but it had one of those like you just grip the handle. And it
Yeah, you
fell
just.
through.
Yeah, those are nice.
It makes me feel old timey. Colonial days.
Good. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna pour the vanilla in. I always do that last.
Definitely makes me glad I used it.
Yeah. And it's funny, you don't realize how many lumps are in the powdered sugar because it always looks like it's fine in the package, but I got a lot of lumps when I sifted. Okay, so I added the vanilla.
You see that? Can you see that?
Oh my goodness. That's lumpy.
So clumps.
If when it melted, it would just be a lump. I think if the lumps get into the cake, it would probably melt down, but I don't think it would in the frosting. Okay.
Alex Kent says, use peppermint oil to dry ants away. Amazon sells a peppermint spray. It works great.
That's a great tip. Thank you so much. Taste testers.
Ooh.
Come on around. Give everybody a little bit.
That is good.
Then Richie.
Mmm. That's a lot better than what you get in a can.
Oh,
Mmm.
very good. The icing.
10.
It's a 10 out of 10.
Richie rates. Okay, so I'm gonna get the
frosting, remember?
I'm sorry?
Does it taste just like the frosting you remember?
It tastes even better.
From Homecomin?
It's amazing.
But
It's so good.
all right.
I'm trying to get as much of this off of the mirror as I can so we have enough icing for the cake.
And the only difference is that it's 2 layers and at Homecomin it's 3, right?
I think it's 2 at Homecomin as well. It's just really thick layers. They're gigantic, and they serve it with a scoop of ice cream, if you can imagine that.
Oh my goodness.
I know. It's like, don't go be on a diet when you're there because it's not going to work. Okay, so yeah, I got pretty much. Here you go, Richie. You can lick the spoon. Okay. Now I'm going to chill this for a little bit, but not too much, because if we chill it too much, it won't spread on the cake well.
Right.
So aside, and keep an eye on it. Don't eat it, Richie.
No eating.
Okay.
Hello there says, is the stream blurry for everyone? It's not blurry for me, and I'm on 720p. So click the gear icon or the 3 dots and turn it up to 720p. If you see it's on 480 or 140 or 360, one of those lower numbers, it's going to look blurry. 720p is how to make it look clear.
Here we go. So I just put a lid on my frosting, and I'm just going to let it rest. And Richie, I'm just going to steal some water. So this is pretty much all there is to this cake. It's pretty simple. And, you know, the hardest part, I think, is going to be, you know, the time it takes to bake it and cool it. But other than that, it's a pretty simple recipe. I'd make this again. It was pretty easy. It was fun. You know. I'm going to clean my mixer. Then we can chat a little bit. So Nicholas, what do you think about icing?
I thought it was very good.
That icing was really good and really easy. It was like the perfect proportions.
Mm-hmm. So good. It's so easy too. It's like 1 bar of cream cheese, 1 stick of butter, and 1 pound of confectioner's sugar, and 1 teaspoon. Everything is 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done with the mixer. So I'm gonna move it. It's heavy.
Moving equipment. Moving equipment.
Here, movie. So guys, while we have some time too, I wanted to show you what I found in the gift shop at Wilderness Lodge the other night. It's part cookie cutters. It's got, I know, it's got Spaceship Earth and the Tree of Life and Tower Terror and the wheel, the California Adventure wheel, and yeah, I love it. So one day we'll have to make sugar cookies and decorate them.
Yes.
It'll be fun.
And for those who watch my streams where I said we kept having to look for cookie cutters, those are the cookie cutters.
And I found them on my own.
Yeah. My mom found them a few days before, so.
And I will
search was
tell
over.
anyone who is a pin collector, I know you guys know I collect pins too. The Christmas ones are starting to come out slowly but surely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alex Kennett says, please tell Donna and Lynn that peppermint oil will help keep ants out of the kitchen.
Thank you so much, Alex. I'm going to remember that for sure.
Yeah. Says, sugar cookies mail well.
They do. They sure do, Pete. That's hilarious. So now, did you make this cake again? Do you think your boys will like it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Everything anyway.
I mean, to make a cake from scratch, it wasn't that much effort. I mean, really, the most difficult thing making it was probably sifting the things because it's just a little messy.
Agreed.
Once you get by that, I think it's pretty straightforward, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't made a cake from scratch in like 10 years, but
yeah.
I agree about the sifting. That proved more important. I've never sifted. I haven't sifted since I baked with my mom in the kitchen when I was a kid. And that really proved how important it is to sift because of all the clumps that came out of everything.
Yeah, it was true. And it makes it all light and fluffy. And you could really see it and taste it with the frosting, I think.
Yeah.
So smooth like velvet. It wasn't clumpy, grainy, or anything. And that's why you use the powdered sugar in your frostings and whipped cream and things like that, because if you use granulated sugar, you're going to get that grainy texture, and you really don't want that smooth and creamy. So that's why, if someone wanted to know why confectioner's sugar, that's why.
Yeah, it's really, really good frosting.
Mm-hmm. So Lynn, are you like an avid baker? Do you like to bake?
I mean, I used to. I have a chocolate chip cookie recipe that I make a lot. They love it. It's really, really good. I'll send it to you. I don't know how you make your chocolate chip cookies.
Yum. That sounds delicious.
The best. And I make banana bread muffins because our bananas go bad.
I do the same thing. That's what you do with bananas. You make banana bread.
Yeah. And now we can make hummingbird cake with them too. So
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, I don't do a whole lot of baking, but
you did a good job with the sifting and the mixing and everything. See, so
thank you. That's because I have
it stays with you.
I'm gonna say it's you. Your moral support helping me along.
I'm always trying to help. I want everyone to feel comfortable in the kitchen and not be afraid. I know so many people that don't cook because they're afraid. And if you don't try, you'll never know. You might be a wonderful chef and never know it just because you're afraid, you'll mess it up. And it's all, like I said, it's all good. You eat your mistakes and you make new ones and you get better. It's all practice.
So I have a question, Donna. Do you follow recipes to a T all the time, or are you one of those cooks? Like for me, I vary the recipe all the time. If it says like 1 clove of garlic, I'll use 3. Do you do the same thing?
I do. I used to, when I was younger, I would follow it to a T. And then in my 20s, what I did was I would follow the recipe to a T the first time and then adjust it to my. And now I just look at it and I'm like, okay, no, I'm not going to do that. Like with my cake recipe, I doubled the vanilla.
Yeah, because I feel like as you start to cook more, you know what flavors you like more. So I love garlic. I love vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
So I
you need to like go to what your family's palate is and not necessarily who made the recipe, even if it's like a famous chef or, you know, someone that is in the business and does this for a living, because you got to remember they're doing it to their taste buds and everybody is different. Some people like a lot of salt, some people like a little salt, you know, and some people like things not sweeter and not as sweet. So I always say mix it up and do what you need to do to make it so that your family enjoys it and it's unique to your family.
Right. On your palate.
Exactly. Yeah, because some people are super sensitive. Well, you know, you've heard about like people with cilantro. Some people love it, like I do, and a lot of people. There's people. It literally tastes like soap to them, and they cannot tolerate it. And it's nothing about them or anything. It's just their taste buds are different. Right. So you know, it's just a person to person thing.
I feel better for them.
I know. I love cilantro and everything. So good. I mean, I can't even. The first time I heard that, I'm like, it tastes like soap. I'm like, I don't taste that. Some people, I feel so bad because I love it so much and I want everyone to love it. But if you can't, you know, it's like people with spicy food. Some people can really tolerate the heat a lot more than others. Mm-hmm. And like when I made my Hades nachos last week, I know all of us here like it very mild. So I really scaled back on the hot sauce.
Yeah. Yeah, we love spicy in this house. My kids are like, I like spicy. We all do. But I was shocked. My kids have been eating the hot sauce, the ones with flames on them. Young. I'm like, I don't know. It's just your palate, I guess.
Yeah, everyone is so different in their taste buds and what, you know, what they like and what they don't like, what their, you know, stomach can take and what they can. Some people have like celiac and can't have, you know, gluten. It's so individual to the person. Right. Some people, you know, are vegetarian and some people are lactose intolerant. So, you know, if you need to substitute and do what you need to do to make it conducive to your family, I say go for it and don't deny yourself just because you think, oh, the recipe has this, this, and this in it. I would switch it. Like I was saying with the nuts, you can even leave the nuts out or you could switch to a different nut. So just whatever you like is the way to go.
Exactly. Yeah. I just thought like people should hear your take on that and recipes because I know for me that I always tweak everything. I can never follow it to a T. I did this time for respect reasons. I wanted to respect the recipe, but normally when I'm cooking, it's just like, all right.
Well, I have to say when I'm baking, I'm a little bit more to the recipe because, you know, baking is a little bit more of a science, but there's things like the nuts, or if you wanted to add an extra banana, it really wouldn't hurt the integrity of the baking. But yeah, other than that, but like the flour and like the baking soda, I always pay attention to those things because if you don't have the right measurement of those, it will turn out bad.
We need a pile of glue.
I know. I mean, I remember when back in the day, I don't know if you had to do this, but we had to take home ec class in junior high school. And I was partnered up with a friend of mine, and she's like, oh, we're going to ace this because, you know, Donna bakes and she knows what she's doing and she's always cooking something. Well, we forgot to we either put baking soda instead of baking powder, or we forgot to put it in or something. And we were making M&M cookies, and they just turned into a flat pancake and all in one big cookie in the thing. And she looked at me and she's like, you're the reason I'm not going to get an A. You should have known better. And I'm like, I don't know what happened.
We're a team. What happened to that?
I was like, oh, where's the teamwork here? She thought she was going to get an easy A, and I was like, because she hated cooking, and I was like, I'm so sorry. She's like, it took her a while to get over it, but yeah, she did eventually.
That's so funny. That's like the navigator getting mad. Hold on, what's a good way to say this? Like somebody's navigating, like she would have been the recipe reader, and you're doing all the work, right?
Yeah, she was. She's like, oh yeah, Donna's got this hands down. It's like, no, I need a spot checker. Right?
That's so funny. I feel like we've all been there though.
Oh yeah. Have you had any cooking mishaps?
Plenty, but I can't remember it. I can't remember an exact memory, but there's a lot of them. And I don't know what makes you better. The more that you do it, then you learn from your mistakes, and then you don't do them again, hopefully, and you just get better and better the more that you do it.
And I think that's important what you said, because you do learn, because I learned from that day on. I am so hyper on like the baking soda, baking powder thing now. I like double, triple check that I've done it, because I never wanted to feel that way again. I felt so bad. I'm like, I got her a bad grade. It was so bad.
PTSD.
Okay, Walter, welcome in. Hi, Tina. And I don't know if I missed anyone else, but hello, everybody.
I know Mickey Travels is here earlier.
Oh, hi, Mickey Travels. If you're still here, welcome in. I love them so much. Okay, my cake says 15 seconds, Lynn.
Okay.
We're going in.
Oh boy, I think mine are overcooked.
Okay. So now, guys, I know, yeah, you can still see me. I'm going to take them out of the oven, but I'm going to leave the oven on for a minute because I want to make sure that they're finished. So I will stick, you can use a toothpick. You can use, they have cake testers you can use that they sell. Toothpicks are cheap, so are forks. You already have them in the house. That's what I'm going to use to see if the cakes are good.
What if you don't have any toothpicks?
Use a fork or a butter knife. The cake's gonna look a little dark because it's got the bananas and the pineapple and all that caramelizes when it bakes. So it's gonna look a little brown, not like a traditional cake, but it's from a cake mix.
Yeah. So
Great.
definitely not done. I don't know if you can see my fork. There's goo on it, but it's dark already.
And back in it goes.
Okay.
All right, so I put the timer back on for 10 minutes.
Okay.
And yeah, while we're doing that though, I didn't peel my eggs yet for the deviled eggs, so I think I'm gonna peel the eggs while we're talking.
Okay. I peeled mine because I was so scared I was gonna ruin my eggs again. Mar sent me a recipe and it worked, and they turned out
That's awesome.
the best.
Yeah, I actually make mine in the Instapot. They're so easy to peel when you do them in the Instapot. Do you have an Instapot?
No, I'm shopping for one. I think I'm gonna keep my eye out for Black Friday deals and Cyber Monday.
Good idea. You won't be sorry. I use it for so many things. Like Richard takes hard-boiled eggs to work every day for his breakfast, and you can make up to a dozen in there at a time, and it only takes like 5 minutes, and you don't have to boil the water and all that stuff.
5 minutes?
They're so easy to peel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem is peeling, and then I ruin them and they're really ugly.
Oh, Mickey Travels, that's so kind of you. Thank you so much. You are loved right back on. You guys all know my friends Mickey Travels. I know I always say it, but if you're looking to book a Disney trip, they're not a sponsor of mine. They're my friends, and I know the work they do, and I know how hard they work. So that's why I always just go and recommend them. Anyone planning a Disney trip, because they will do it right, and they will make sure that you get the trip of your dreams. So, MickeyTravels.com, guys. They're awesome.
Yeah.
And Mars says, that's what I got. Mars says, tell Lynn I said hooray.
Yay!
Woo! Now, see, it's too bad you don't have your chair. You could spin.
Whee!
Now, see, Nick is on a stool I got for him when we're streaming, and it has wheels and things, and he's just spun around for you.
Yay! Stool spins are the best.
Awesome.
They're fun, aren't they, Nick?
They are very cool and comfy.
So now I only did 6 eggs because there's not many of us in our house. So, and it'll give us 12 deviled eggs as opposed to the 24. So I'm just going to have the recipe is basically what I'm doing. So if you have a smaller household, that's what I would recommend, just having the recipe, and then everyone still enjoys, but you don't have all those leftovers that you don't know what to do with. But deviled eggs never last that long in my house anyway.
Yeah, my guys love deviled eggs. I always make them for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they're gone in a heartbeat. They won't touch anything else. They'll just eat all the eggs. So,
Yep.
I actually found this. I guess I'll start putting mine in the little. I got this at the Dollar Tree. How cool is that?
That's so awesome. You know, I went on Amazon and I found this little guy, which is the same exact one they use at Homecomin to serve the little deviled eggs on.
It's so cute.
Cute. It was only like, what, $6 or something?
That's awesome. I love it. Let me pull this camera out. All right. I'll just start halving mine since I'm doing more eggs than you, because I know they won't go to waste.
Yeah. I just figured while we're talking, it's a good thing to peel the eggs while we're just, chit-chatting and waiting for the timer on the cake.
So I had a question for you, Donna. I was wondering, I know that you have lived tons of places.
Yeah.
So I had a couple questions about that. And you might have talked about it and I might have missed it in one of your streams, but how many states have you lived in, and have you ever lived overseas, like in a different country?
Okay. Well, the easy part of that is no, I've never lived overseas. I've lived in many states. I was born and raised, I never ever counted, so let's count them together. I was born and raised in Rhode Island. Then I moved for a little bit to Massachusetts. I went to high school there. Then I met my husband in South Dakota. We got married in Nebraska. Then we moved to Coral Springs, Florida in the 90s. And then from there, we went to Alaska. We lived in 2 places in Alaska, but that's one state, so we'll count that as one for 10 years. Then I moved to Oklahoma. We lived there for over 10 years, and then now Florida again. So that's, Richie count 7.
Wow, that's so awesome.
Check the math. You all did it right.
What's your favorite state of those that you lived in?
Oh, that's so hard. Because each state had things that I loved and things that kind of annoyed me. I love Rhode Island, of course, because I was born and raised there, so it's home. A lot of my family is still there. And I do love the 4 seasons of New England, and I love being, and this is interesting too, I've lived in the smallest state in the country and the biggest, which is so funny.
That is funny.
Not weird, but I do miss, being able to go to the ocean, because even now, though I'm in Florida, I'm inland now, so I'm like an hour away.
Right.
And, with traffic, it's an hour away without the traffic. And if you get traffic, it's even further. So it's difficult. But, I miss the ocean. I miss things like that. Florida's a bit hot for me. Alaska was too cold. But Alaska was the most beautiful state I lived in.
Oklahoma was?
No, Alaska.
Alaska.
The northern lights, and in the summer, because you have 23 hours of daylight, everything just flourishes and grows and is so beautiful. They have the most beautiful wildflowers you'd ever imagine.
Wow.
Yeah. So cool.
I've heard that before, that Alaska is incredible. I'm just like, kind of freaks me out to go there because it's so cold, so far north.
It was so cold. And I will tell you, they did not cancel school for the children until the actual temperature before the wind chill was 50 below zero.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh.
The upside is they did pick each kid up at their own home. So, so they weren't out in the cold, freezing today.
That's crazy.
I know it was definitely interesting, and in the winter when it's school time, it's hard for the kids because it's in the summer we have 23 hours of daylight, but in the winter we have 23 hours of darkness. And although we get the beautiful northern lights, the aurora borealis and all that, it's really cool to see, and I was very fortunate to see that many times. The winters were just too hard for me, too hard. And because you're a Michigander, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the winters are tough. They're tough and hard.
Yeah, that's the one thing I miss the least about Michigan is the cold and the snow and the ice. And I'll never forget the year that we moved down to Florida, which is exactly 5 years ago this week. The kids they went, I think, 3 months without going to school for a full week because of wind chill and snow and ice storms and stuff.
Yeah, that can definitely put a damper on things for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm done with this. No, thank you.
There's nowhere for them to go and play. Well, in Alaska, at least, they had big gymnasiums where they would have all kinds of play areas and things inside for the kids. But still, it's not the same as being outdoors in the fresh air and playing. It's hard.
And you have to drive there.
Yeah.
Really quickly, you have a few questions.
Sure.
Alex Kennett says, please ask Donna if she'll do a Thanksgiving turkey stream. I've never done a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, and I'd like to this year, but I don't know how.
Sure.
And then
actually, I plan on that. We're going to actually, I think, make a turkey breast or turkey cutlets and not a whole turkey, because that would take a really long time.
And then Jennifer Piccolo says, can you ask Donna if she has a tip for getting the eggs to peel easier? I've tried everything.
Okay, my tip, I have 2 tips. If you're boiling your eggs, put vinegar in the water, just like a quarter cup or something like that would be fine. You don't need terribly much. And that should help. And my go-to definitely is making them in the Instapot, because you don't need the vinegar. And Richard says and he eats hard-boiled eggs every day for breakfast, and he says they peel the easiest from the Instapot. And so I trust him with that. And yeah, it's just a go-to for me. And it's so much easier if you have an Instapot. Let's see. Nope, still not done. It's taking a long time.
I don't know.
How are yours, Lynn? Mine still aren't baked.
This is what came on my fork when I pulled it out.
Yeah, we're not done yet. We gotta put them back in. But I do have a tip for when we get them out. After we cool them a little bit on the rack and we can get them out of the pan, we can speed the cooling process so we can frost them by putting them in the fridge.
Uh-oh. No, I have room.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna try.
5 more minutes?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. I'm gonna start having my eggs. I don't know where my little cutting board went, but it's probably under there somewhere. My little cutting board. Okay. So this is just the bowl I'm going to mix the filling for the deviled eggs in. And then eggs. Oh, I just grabbed the bowl for my deviled egg mixture. See, we're into the game. But yeah, peeling, I just noticed too, when I was peeling the eggs from the Instapot, they peeled really well. I had no like little bits of shell or anything like that. So I think we're good.
Can't wait to get an Instapot. I hope that they do go on sale for Black Friday.
Do, because it's such a good investment, honestly. I use it quite a bit. I've made chili in there. I've made fajitas in there. I did my shredded chicken for the Hades nachos last week in there. And I do the eggs every week in there.
Yeah, I think we would get a lot of use out of it here too. I see everybody doing so many awesome things with it that.
And the nice thing about the Instapot too is it's not just, a pressure cooker. It's like a slow cooker. It can do so many things.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and see, look how perfect they turn out in the Instapot. There's no like that ring. You know how you can get like that green ring sometimes?
Yeah. That's here we showed it. Mine, this is how my yolks turned out with Mars recipe that she sent me, which was also the vinegar. And they're perfect, except for one. There was one that's not the best, but all the rest of them look really good. And
yeah,
that was
really good.
The biggest problem I have is the shells. And then the last time I made them, I undercooked them, and then I've overcooked them, and you have that nasty, like you said, the nasty gray ring, and it's just.
Yeah, I hate that. Yeah. That's like
Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead. You're fine.
Nothing. I'm just being silly.
I was just gonna say, when I boiled my eggs, I used to get that gray ring, and it used to really like make me mad.
Me too. The family of food critics, they're like, "Oh, you didn't make them very good." I'm like, "Well, next time make them yourself."
You tell them, Lynn. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, Lori.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the stream so I can read what everybody's saying. I'm so sorry I can't see any comments.
I'm so bad at it. I'm so sorry, guys. Have you been reading the chat?
Yes. Making travel says, I cannot imagine you getting mad.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Ask Richie.
Richie?
You've made it on.
What did he say?
He said, I get mad at all you people. He's so fresh. Okay. He said, especially Nick and Sam. I do. You get mad, I call them little hooligans. They're my little hooligans.
That's funny.
I'm going to grab a fork so I can get these mixed up together.
Let's see the recipe for that.
It's taking a lot longer for the cake to bake than it said on the recipe. But it's both of our things too. So it's not just one of us. Because that's telling me the recipe maybe needs to be adjusted the time.
Yeah, because it was only supposed to be 30 to 35 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm, and that's what we did. And now we're going on 55 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. Okay, so now did you crush your egg with a fork? Mash it up?
Take me 1 second. I use my potato maker.
The deviled egg ingredients are so easy, guys. You just have hard-boiled eggs, mayonnaise. I use Hellmann's real mayonnaise, yellow mustard of your choice, relish. I use sweet relish. You can use dill pickle relish, whatever kind you like, and paprika. That's about it. Oh, and for garnish, this is optional. I crisped up a piece of bacon and crumbled it, and that's what they serve on top when you go to Homecomin. And I also got chives because I thought it was pretty.
I did the same thing.
Yay.
Making travel says they use Dijon mustard.
Ooh, that sounds great.
Yeah, that does sound good.
Mhm.
But we put the paprika in it, not as a garnish, right?
Let me
Or is
double
it supposed to be the garnish?
Let me double check that. No, it's the garnish.
Okay.
Okay.
Two.
And with all of these, the recipe does have measurements, but I say use however much you want. I mean, like, you're not going to put a cup of mayo in here. But I mean, you know, if you want a little bit more, a little bit less, it should be just fine.
I don't like pickles at all, so I'm nervous about putting this relish in here.
You could even leave it out, Lynn, if you want to.
I'm going to try it for comparison purposes of how I normally make them. This is not how I would normally make deviled eggs. So I'm curious as to how it's going to turn out.
Yeah, this is very similar to my deviled egg recipe. But I'm curious too to see how it's going to taste.
How do you normally make your deviled eggs?
I usually make it pretty much with the same ingredients, to be honest. Yeah. So the only thing I never have done before is put the bacon on the top. But I figured, yeah, well, we're doing Chef Art's way today, so I figured, what the heck, I'll do the bacon.
Unless your mom said, did the recipe say to bake it in a conventional oven, maybe?
A convection oven, maybe?
Convection.
No, it just said regular egg.
I just have a regular oven. I don't know what that is.
Conventional oven settings and bake faster than traditional oven
They
settings.
sure do. This was 4 regular. So I don't know. And my pans are 9-inch. So I don't know. So now I'm gonna just keep this and see how it is. It's really good. Really good. Okay.
Did you already mix it together?
Yes. Here's what it looks like. There we go. So that's what it looks like. It's a little bright on the but
Do you think it's kind of strange that they don't call for any salt or pepper or anything?
yeah, I found that, but I guess maybe because the mayo and the relish and all that stuff have salt in it.
Yeah.
Pepper in it though, and well, and paprika is kind of pepper. So. Oh, it does say a half a teaspoon of salt, but I don't think it needs it. I'll let you taste it, Richard, and see what you think.
Mine isn't that smooth.
It tastes pretty good to me. You tell me, any other kids won't eat that. No, it tastes good. I think so.
A little bit of salt in mine.
Okay, it's almost time to check our cakes again, Lynn.
Okay.
And then when I'm done, someone on my Facebook page suggested using a pastry bag to fill the eggs. I'm gonna try it.
Down the staircase.
Hey, stop fighting. You used a pastry bag. I just used I'm gonna actually repurpose my Ziploc bag.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, the recipe says just to spoon it in.
Look up ice cream
Why
on
did I try doing that? I'm like, okay, I bought it, so might as well use it and see how it goes. That's gonna be pretty. Try to get as much out of there as we can. Okay, time to take the cakes out again. This is reminding me of when I worked in the donut shop and we had to check the donuts. Like, time to check it. Smell the banana.
I remember you saying that last week, and it was funny because you said that was like your first real job other than babysitting, and mine was the same.
Isn't that funny?
But at an apple orchard. But we had I don't know how to make them at normal donut shops, but at the Apple Orchard, there was this long, like 15-foot machine that was like filled with hot oil, and it just like dropped them into it. So I would take the donuts off of the hot fryer and like line them up as they came out of the thing.
So cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever get burned? I would be afraid.
What's that?
Did you ever get burned from the hot
Oh
oil?
yeah, tons of times. My mouth too, because I ate them too hot.
Avery says, "Why was the egg late for school? He didn't study for the exam."
Oh, Avery. You're so funny. That's a big
I think
Thanks for finally done. Mine is finally done. Woohoo!
I think mine are too.
Okay, great. Now I'm putting mine on the cooling rack for a minute.
Jennifer says, "Donna, try using the Ziploc bag method when you fill your donut pan. It is so much easier."
Christian, we go downstairs.
And Emily, I would say try to refresh, but it might be because there's a bunch of sounds at once. You're saying it sounds like I might be skipping, so I would try to refresh because there's a bunch of sounds going off at once.
What? Are you flipping them, Donna?
Am I what?
Flipping kind of the format?
I leave them in the pan for about 10 to 15 minutes so that they loosen up from the edge. Then I'll flip them, and then I'm going to put them in the fridge so they cool a little quicker.
Okay, I'm doing that.
A little trick. All right, so these are ready to fill.
Can you please be quiet?
Okay. So here's my pastry bag I got going. We're just gonna go in and fill the egg.
They're saying yes, audio is skipping. I can try to take you guys out and back in. Ooh. All right. Let me try something. It's not going to kick you guys out because we're moving and adding it back in. So let me try something. This might fix the audio.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if that fixed it, but that's what I can do.
Was that better for them?
Is it better now?
Yeah, let us know how it is.
Okay, guys, so see, this is what I mean. My pastry bag exploded. So I'm gonna just get a spoon and use what's spilled out and put it in the eggs. Don't laugh at me, Nicholas. Hey, it happens. It's like
I think mine's gonna end up squirting out the top.
They're saying you're okay.
okay. Darla. Hi, Darla.
Darla says, "Who are the taste testers?"
Hey.
Taste testers. That would be Nick and Richard.
Not for the eggs, though.
Important one.
Oh, hi, Thomas. How are you?
Hey, Thomas. No, Donna is a good friend of mine.
You got $1 for every time that question was asked.
I honestly should because that gets asked for a lot.
The short name is Donna is not my mom.
Let's do it.
The bag is working out really well.
I want to see what's happening. Yay, Thomas.
I'm not one for really liking it overfilled with the filling. I kind of like it just above the flush point.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are asking, who is Lynn?
Lynn is an amazing friend of mine. She's also a YouTuber. She has a wonderful channel called The Lynn Project. Lynn, tell them a little more about your channel and what you do.
I am a Disney fanatic. I am currently shifting gears on my channel a little bit to do more South Florida things because it's become a lot more difficult for me to get to Disney. But I still love it. We just went and visited Butterfly World, which Donna has also been to. I'm a bartender. What?
Oh, I said it's wonderful at Butterfly World.
I'm a bartender by trade, so I incorporate drink recipes into my videos and my live streams, and we just have fun and joke and laugh and spill things on the floor.
It's always a fun time on Lynn's channel.
Oh, thanks, Donna.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, I'm pretty happy with this.
I'm pretty happy with mine too. I'm almost done. I'm putting the finishing touches on it.
I'm
And
not
then I'm
very
in the fridge to, set up a little bit. I'm going to show everyone what we got, and I'll take my, Instagram worthy photo.
Mickey Travis says Donna Shore treats him like family. Love her for that.
Oh, I love you guys so much, Mickey Travels.
Christine said, are you near Key West? I don't know if it's for you or Lynn or
That
both of
must be
you.
for Lynn.
No, I'm not near Key West. I'm closer to Fort Lauderdale
Can you, Christine?
area.
Yeah,
So guys, I'm going to show you what we've got here. And
I can.
Oh, they
Yeah.
look great.
yeah,
Wow.
and I'll show you the picture. These are the ones from Chef Arts.
I can turn on the lighting to show a little better.
There you go.
These look awesome.
So kind of similar, kind of, sort of.
I think they look really, really similar.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to put them in the fridge to set up a little bit. Because it does say in the recipe to chill them for 2 hours, which obviously we're not going to wait for that. But we'll put them in the fridge now.
I think that's a little excessive.
Put these in here like this. And if you have extras, because I have 12 and my little egg dish only fits 6, just, I'm putting them in a Tupperware or whatever, and you can, garnish them and just put them in the fridge to set up and serve them however you'd like to.
Some of my chives. The way I normally cut chives is I just take the kitchen scissors to them, but I don't know where they're at, so I'm gonna just have to dice them.
Yeah, I do the same exact thing. It's so easy, and
Yeah.
perfectly chopped chives. It's so, that's like a great kitchen hack.
Absolutely.
But here's the other ones. So, I didn't put, right?
I love it.
There you go.
Yum.
I can't wait. It's going to be so good.
Your mother said.
Oh, Lynn, so my brother goes to University of Miami.
Your brother does, Nick?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. You go
Yeah.
down and visit him?
He's at home, right? And he's doing at home.
Right.
But when he is there, yeah, usually we do.
Oh, that's awesome. Next time you guys make it to South Florida, we should figure something out and
Absolutely.
go out to dinner or whatever.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, again.
My mess. I did make a mess. Boy, when that pastry bag exploded, it made a quick mess. That's okay.
Yeah. I love onions.
Me too. I love onions. I love garlic, all that stuff.
Mhm.
Yum. Alright.
I don't know. I'm scared to tip this, but I'll turn it a little bit. This is what mine looks like.
It's up, I'm gonna feel it and check. If it's cool enough, I'll try to invert it. And then I'll put it in the fridge. That's good. Oh, you got it, Michelle. I'm gonna feel the paper and see.
Are you flipping them now, Donna?
They're still a little bit too warm to flip, so I'm gonna let the timer just run out. The timer was halfway through, so I think by the time the timer beeps, it'll be quick to flip them. So I'm gonna put my paprika away. There we go. Awesome. So now, Lynn, how many places have you lived?
2.
Oh, so only Michigan and Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
One extreme to the other.
That's for sure. That was like when I went from Florida to Alaska. That was crazy. I don't think I could do that now in my 40s. I was younger then. I had a lot more resilience.
Yeah, Florida heat is something else, but it changes you as a person. Tell me if you think it's the same or not. But when you acclimate to it being 85 to 90 degrees every single day, to go into 70-degree weather, it feels chilly. Like
it was cold. I never thought I would be cold at 75 degrees, but I always need a sweater.
Same.
Crazy.
Same way.
Oh, and hi, Jay Nashville, and hello, and Meredith, and anyone else? Oh, and Phantasmic Chronicles, Tony, hello.
Carlos says, how long were you in Alaska?
I was in Alaska for 9 years. I lived for 3 years on the Bering Sea in Nome, Alaska, and that is landlocked. You can only fly in or out. You cannot drive out of Nome. So once you're there, you are there. You're
not going anywhere.
not. And it's funny because, we moved in September, and you don't think when you're moving from Florida in September to Alaska in September, you don't really prepare yourself for the weather. When we got there, we were buried in snow and ice, and the barges couldn't get through because the sea was frozen. So we never got our stuff. We didn't get our stuff till May. And when we did, one of the barges, our stuff was on 2 barges, and one of the barges sank to the bottom of the ocean.
Oh my gosh.
It was bad. But no, very interesting. It's the end of the Iditarod dog sled race, so we always got to see that, and that's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And
cool.
Yeah, and our house that we rented there was a 2-level, and the top level had a deck. And when you went outside, which we didn't do too often because it was so cold, but you could see the Bering Sea from there, and it was just beautiful.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then for 6 years, we moved from Nome. My husband got transferred to the interior of Alaska. And so we lived in the Fairbanks area in actually North Pole, Alaska, if you can believe that. Yeah, my address was officially North Pole, Alaska for 6 years.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and that was a little bit better because it was a little town, and we had like a Safeway, and there was a Fred Meyer there. So we had more things. In Nome, you had nothing.
Right. Wow, that's crazy. Fred Meyer, is that like Meyer, the grocery chain?
It's a grocery chain, primarily on the West Coast, I believe, but they have everything. Yeah, it's kind of like a Safeway kind of type store.
Because we had Meyer in, Midwestern, like the whole Midwestern area. It's in like Michigan, Illinois, Ohio. And I was wondering if that's like another branch of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a good question. But I was just so happy to have any kind of store.
Anything that remotely resembles a grocery store.
Funny because, we had a store, but like us, they were, bound to when the barges could get through. So their stock was very limited. And that's why a lot of the Alaskan people in the bush villages, like Nome and stuff, where you can't get things in and out like you normally could,
Right.
they live on like pilot bread. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's like this big cracker kind of thing, and Spam. They love that.
Really? Ew.
I know. I was like, oh, I can't do that. So what we did was we would fly to Anchorage, Alaska, and stay on the military base there once a month. And we would buy, because Anchorage is like the main hub, and they could get stuff in that you couldn't way out in the boonies where we were.
Uh-huh.
So we would buy stuff for like a whole month, and then we'd have to pay to ship it. We'd pack it up in boxes, take it to the mail, and ship it back to Nome. And that's how we got groceries. It was so crazy.
That is crazy. I can't even imagine that. Like,
Yeah.
that would be expensive too, because the shipping.
Back in 2000, when we moved, a gallon of milk in Alaska, I almost fell on the floor. And when you have two children, as you know, you go through a lot of milk.
Yeah.
$10 a gallon.
12?
10.
10 in 2000. And that's crazy.
I just was like, are you insane? I can't pay that for milk. So a lot of people buy shelf-stable milk, which I didn't really like. It's called like Parliament or something like that. And it's cartons that you can keep in your pantry that doesn't need refrigeration. But I mean, ew.
That weirds me out. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, that's not for me. So, all right, I'm going to try to flip my cakes. I'm going to bring them on over and see if they're ready. And
Ready.
if anyone's ever baked a cake, you know when they're ready to flip, because they'll give from the pan. If they don't, well, then we have to wait more. I probably shouldn't have put that there. Okay. I'm going to put it not on the cutting board. There. That's just my trick. Nice. If you hear beeping. And what I'll do is I'll go around the edge with like a. What? Oh, that's awesome. I won't mind you. But I'm still going to go around the edge.
I probably should have done that, but
I'm scared. I just want to give it a little help. Just, in case they're not quite ready. Did yours come right out, Lynn?
yeah, they popped right out. These are
Perfect.
brand new pans too, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Okay. All right, wish me luck, everybody. So now here's how I do it. I'm going to put my pan down, and then I take my rack, and I put it over the pan,
Yeah,
and then I flip.
that's what I usually do.
Yep. Okay, is it coming out? Yep.
Yay!
Yep. Easy, easy. There it is. Ta-da! Okay, so now we'll do the other one.
Ooh.
I don't know if I should put this maybe on a plate. I'm going to go grab a plate. So I don't put them on top of each other. I'm afraid if I put them on top of each other, because they're still kind of warm, that they'll kind of like melt into each other, and they'll stick together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're gonna put one on the rack and one on the plate?
I put one on the plate, but I'll flip the other ones, and I'm going to pop them in the fridge so that they cool down so we can frost them. So I'm going to carefully and gingerly do the same thing I did, except watch what I'm going to do now. Ha-ha. And there you go.
Woo!
And this came out sweet and tasty.
Alright. That's enough room. Let's see.
Well, what do you think?
Whatever.
Okay, so now I'm going to do my flip number 2. And then I'll put this one on a plate as well. There we go. Could you do that, Nicholas?
Probably not.
Right out. So I'm going to put them in the fridge to cool down. Then we can chat some more.
Do you think we should still leave the icing in there, or do you think we should take it out and so it's not too stiff?
I would take the icing out now if you have it in the fridge, because we want it to be able to spread. I know from when I made the carrot cake cookies, what happened was I let everything get too soft, I think, before I made the filling. So it really needed to go back in the fridge after and set up. So that's why I said we should put it in the fridge, but yours should be good now. How's the consistency if you stir it? Is it hard?
Yeah, it's pretty stiff.
Is it a little hard? Yeah. It'll if we by the time the cakes are cool enough to frost, it should be just fine.
Yeah, should be perfect by then.
I think so.
Yeah, because it's a little stiff right now. Those carrot cakes were a huge hit.
Yours looked so incredible. Mine, the cake mix was wrong. It was so wrong. I don't know what happened.
You couldn't find the right one. You had to order it.
Yeah,
You what?
I had to order mine online because I couldn't find any at our Target, Publix, any of the stores around here. None of them had a carrot cake mix, and I was like, really?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know. So, and the one I had, everybody else's said their cake mix called for 1/3 of a cup of oil, and mine said 2/3 of a cup of oil. And that's where in laid the problem, because it really made the cookies just spread out too much.
Yeah.
Why it called for double the amount of oil when everyone else just said 1/3. So weird. Yeah.
They turned out really good. I made them way too big the first time, but the smaller ones were perfect.
Yeah, I mean, they tasted great. That wasn't the problem. It was just the consistency, I think, of the batter was just it was weird.
Yeah. Those were
yours looked amazing. Yours looked so good.
Thank you. Because I was making them along with you.
Oh, that's awesome. I love when people do that. It makes my day. That's what it's all about. It's like we're in the kitchen together and making this. So it's awesome.
I'm so happy we finally did this.
I know. I can't wait for you to come back so we can go to Homecoming together and taste the cake in person so you can compare it.
Yes. Next time, I'm trying to figure out a time in November where I can go up for 1 or 2 nights. And once I figure that out, I'll definitely let you know, and we'll schedule dinner. So.
See you for sure.
It'll be fun.
Best time. Remember when we went to Top of the World and all that? That was so much fun.
It was. I wish I could have stayed longer. That was such a crazy, cramped amount of time.
Yep.
I rewatched that vlog. I was so annoying, but I was so excited to be around everyone and meet everyone. And I think I was like overwhelmed that I'm actually meeting all of these people that I know and I talk to and I see and I watch. And it was a little bit much, but I wish we would have been able to stay longer.
Yeah, that's always the problem. Time is never on our side, is it?
It's difficult, but it was still nonetheless fun, whether I was super annoying or not.
No, we loved it. It was so much fun. I mean, being with everybody, that was like a once in a lifetime thing, I think. Having everyone together. It was like one big family reunion.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I'm in South Florida, kind of 30 minutes north of Fort Lauderdale. But next to, really close to where you used to live in Coral Springs, where.
Not far at all. And we liked Coral Springs. It was really nice there.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to do down here.
So many things. And like I was telling you, I used to take my girls to Butterfly World. We loved it. Have you been there at Christmas time?
No. Do they do something special for that?
You need to do a vlog if they're doing it this year. I don't know, of course, with everything, I don't know that has happened. But, they used to have, and we went every year, a drive-through Christmas light display that was spectacular. I think it would make a great vlog.
Really? Where did they do that? At the Butterfly World Park?
Butterfly World, yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I'll have to check that out. I'll keep an eye on their website for any updates, but I know there's, have you ever been to the Morimoto? I've never been there, but that's next on my list of things to try to get to.
Yes, I have been to Morimoto. Sam got that Kobe beef experience they have there. That it was like a fortune, but they come out, it's like a whole experience. It's not just a meal. Not only was the meal delicious, but they told her, the name of her cow, how old her cow was, where the cow came from, what the cow ate.
Wow.
I felt bad eating the cow after that. I was like, ooh. By the time you came to the table, it's like, well, we know what he ate. We know how many siblings. I was like, oh my goodness, maybe I don't want all this information.
That's crazy. Yeah, that would feel a little bit weird. I mean, I obviously wouldn't do it, but watching it might be a little bit. I'd be like, I'm going to just excuse myself for 20 minutes. I'll be back when you're done with the whole process.
Yeah. Oh, and did you see, that was funny. Arjun said we're cooking in contemplation today.
I love it.
That's so funny.
That is funny, Arjun.
But yeah, Morimoto has a lot of good options, especially for pescatarians like yourself. I think you'd really enjoy it. It's quite an experience, and the atmosphere in there is very nice.
What's your favorite restaurant to go to at Disney Springs?
Homecomin.
It is your favorite?
Homecomin is hands down my favorite. I love their chicken. The last time I was there, I always get some form of their fried chicken, either the chicken and donuts or the regular chicken with the side dishes it comes with. But last time I actually deviated from the chicken and I got the barbecue plate, which I had never seen before. I didn't even notice it on the menu. And I don't know if it's new or if I just had overlooked it because I really wanted the chicken. Barbecue pulled pork in-house smoked. It was some of the best barbecue I've ever had, and they serve it with house-made pickles and macaroni and cheese, which was so good. And that biscuit, that cheddar chive biscuit was incredible. It's just, I've never had anything I did not like there, ever.
Wow. I know the one thing I'm dying to try there is I saw on one of Triple P's vlogs when he went there for brunch, they had the cheesy grits with that egg on top, I think.
It looks amazing. I so want to go try that.
Like you pulled the grits up and then the cheese just kept going and going. I'm like, oh my God, I need that so bad.
That's the thing. You can tell when people put like time and effort into the cooking and not just throw it together. And there you feel like it's almost like your mom or grandma did the cooking. And that's what I mean. It tastes like something I would be making in my kitchen and would be happy to serve anybody. Right. And that's what I like. It's just so comfortable.
It's home cooking, homecoming. Homecoming to home cooking.
That's right.
That was good.
Yeah, we went to, I don't know if you've heard of the Orlando Magical Dining, but for $35, you get 3 courses. Some restaurants give you 5 courses, and it's $35 per person. It was supposed to end at the end of September, but because of what happened this year, they extended it to the end of this month. And Richard and I were fortunate enough to go to Wolfgang Puck's at Disney Springs because some of the Disney Springs restaurants are on the list. And we had a spectacular meal there.
Really?
We had the bruschetta and the calamari. We each got to pick an appetizer and share it. And then I got, what did I get? I don't even remember, but it was so good. Oh, it was a schnitzel. The chicken schnitzel was as big as my. It came with like 4 side dishes: a tomato salad with a balsamic glaze, a cucumber salad, an arugula salad, and then like a German potato salad, fingerling potato. It was so good, and then you get to have dessert on top of that.
Oh my goodness.
It was just amazing, and such a value for Disney for $35 a person, and
That's
you get
incredible.
your entree and dessert. And I'll give you that tip. Like, we split everything, so we got to share and taste all the different dishes. Yeah, it was so much fun.
That's awesome. What about everybody says that this is at the top of my list too, is Wine Bar George. Everybody says that that's awesome. Have you been there?
Heard about that. I have not been there yet. I really want to try it though. I've heard the food is so good there.
Yeah, everybody raves about it. They have this one cheese dish, of course, that's like an appetizer in the cast iron little pan, and they put, I don't know, it's like a saganaki, and they light it on fire.
Yeah, and then they flambe
yeah.
it. Yeah.
I love crispy cheese. So good.
Me too. So good. Now, you made like the fricos at home with Parmesan cheese, where you just put a bunch of it on like a parchment or nonstick foil and bake it in the oven till it's crispy.
Oh
yeah. Good. They're so good.
So good. And they're great substitutes for chips, because I don't normally eat too many carbs. I've been shying away from it. Well, obviously not today. I won't be. But they're a great alternative to still be able to enjoy all the dips, all the dips that you love.
Well, we know you love dip, and they're the perfect vessel for the dip too, because like the chip, they're salty, but like you said, they don't have that carbiness to them.
Right.
And I love them, and I use them in place of croutons on salad.
Yes.
They're just so good. And in soup, I mean, oh my goodness, like tomato soup.
Oh my goodness. That sounds so good. I never thought about that in tomato soup. Oh, I want to make some homemade tomato soup. I bet it's probably pretty easy.
I bet it is too. I've never actually made, like I've taken the condensed canned stuff and then jazzed it up, but I've never made it from scratch. Maybe I should try that sometime.
Yeah, that sounds good, right? Really easy.
I think pot would make a good tomato soup because of everything in there cooks so quickly.
Yeah, like you'd have to blister them and peel them first.
Right. I would think so, to get that good roasted tomato flavor out of it.
Yeah. I know what I'm Googling after the stream.
Yum. You're a dip connoisseur, so I want to know. You've tried lots of dips. What's your favorite one that you've ever had? And then is there a favorite one you've had at Disney?
Oh my goodness. That's such a hard question. It's like picking a favorite kid.
I know, it's hard. I guess it depends on your mood too, right?
I will say for me, my go-to favorite dip is spinach artichoke dip.
That's a winner.
That's like, you really can't go wrong, but also because I love it so much, I'm kind of snobby about it. Like if it's watery or flavorless, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it has to be done right. I'm very picky too with stuff like that. And do you like a good queso?
Oh, yes, queso. I love queso. Put it on
make sure you watch next week then, because our show for next week is Mexican, and I'm making scratch queso blanco.
Yum! Oh, I can't wait. I will definitely be getting everything.
I love it. I'm putting jalapenos in it.
Oh, yes. Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to cook along with you for sure next week. I love it.
So much fun.
It makes me so happy that you started doing this, because I remember seeing your first one, and it wasn't, I don't think the first time you did it was a plan. You were just like, oh, people want me to cook, so I'm going to cook. And I remember watching it, and I just loved it. Like, I think I watched for like, was it like 2 or 3 hours of just cooking? And I'm like, this was so much fun. I loved it. And I'm so happy that you decided to make it into a series and grow with it, because Sundays are my day off, and I'm so happy you picked Sunday because I like the interaction of being there live, rather, instead of watching the replay, it's not as much fun, but I loved just watching you cook, like you're in your element and hanging out and answering questions and getting to know you better, getting to know Nick and Sam and Arjans and whoever, happens to be there. But it was just so much fun, and it made me so happy. Like, I knew that day, I was like, I want to cook with Donna because she's so
excited. When you made the suggestion of the hummingbird cake, I'm like, we should make it together. Let's do it. And when you were on board with it, I was like, yay, this is so exciting because, I mean, I love cooking with my friends. So this is just a win-win for me. And we get to chat and visit, and it's just so much fun. Oh, and hi, Joy just joined us.
Hi.
So yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I love cooking. And if it wasn't for Corey challenging me and like kind of daring me on his live stream to do it and fill in for him, I would never have even done it. So it's funny how things evolve.
Isn't that crazy to think about, like how something started and then, down the road you look at it and you're like, wow, like I never would have thought, a couple months ago or whatever, but
it's so true. We were just at Epcot together hanging out with Corey, and he was doing a stream, and I remember Epcot Bob was in town and we were just hanging out visiting, and he was like, yeah, I'm not going to be here next week. And he looked at me, he's like, would you fill in for me? And I'm like, what would I do? I said, I guess I could cook. He said, well, do it. And I'm like, no. He's like, no, do it. And I'm like, really? And I thought, well, I'll do it one time, and it'll be fun and a joke, and how we'll cook something, and it just kind of took off.
Wow, that's so amazing. Look at that. That's the backstory of how it all started.
It is. I mean, it all started with a Corey. I never would have delved into this because I'll tell you what, everyone said, why don't you do more vlogs? And there's a reason for that. Although I love vlogs and I would love making vlogs, I am horrible at editing them. And they take me bloody forever, and I get very frustrated. Someone like Corey from Corey Meets World, he is so good at it that he finds it therapeutic. He'll do it for hours and thinks it's fun and great. Me, I'm like, this is driving me crazy. I have vlogs I've made of pin videos from 2018 that I have yet to edit because it drives me crazy. That's why the lives for me work, because the vlogs just are not my friend.
Yeah.
I love watching everyone else's vlogs. You guys are all great. I just the editing just kills me.
Glenn, to answer your question, you can, if you're on a computer, there will be a join button next to the subscribe button. If you're on an iPhone or iPad or iPod, any of the mobile Apple devices, there is not a join button. There's a link in the description. And if you're on a Samsung phone, there will be a join button. So hopefully that answers your question.
Thank you, Nicholas.
I love his little thumbs up that just pops up.
I gotta say, I'm so blessed too with the team I have with Nick and Richard and Sam. I mean, they are such a good support system for me. I would never be able to do this by myself. So, I mean, and I give hats off to you because you are like a superwoman to me. You do it well. And even when things happen, like that one time when you spilled your drink, you keep going. And I love that about you. You just stay positive and you just, that's okay. We're just going to get towels and we're going to keep going. And that's how I am too. So I just really appreciate that in you. You're just awesome.
You are too. I love that. I guess that's, maybe why we connected and we get along and we laugh together and, share the same sense of humor. It's just, I don't know. If you can't laugh at yourself first, then you're doing it wrong.
Absolutely. If you take things too seriously, it's just not a good thing. It's never a good outcome. And I notice when you laugh, things always seem to get better. So
absolutely, I agree.
And being positive.
Yeah, positivity goes such a long way.
It does. It really does. So thank you, Richard, for putting Lynn's channel link in. Yay, Lynn.
Done.
Guys, Lynn, all of the links to Lynn's channel and her social media, so you can follow her on Instagram and all the good things are in the description of this video. So I made sure I put that in there as well as the links to the recipes we've made today. And we're just waiting for cakes to cool for anyone who's just joining us. They're too hot to frost right now, and we're chilling our deviled eggs. So I guess you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to check on the eggs, and if they're cold enough, we can do a taste test. How do you feel about that?
I think they're good room temperature either way. So.
Yeah, let's go get them.
All right.
Oh yeah, these are nice.
That's some crazy smell going on in that fridge with the eggs and the cake.
I know, it's like all these aromas.
It's a weird smell combo in there.
Okay. So I know you don't want one, Nicholas.
Yeah.
Take a picture of these buttes.
Yeah, they came out so pretty. Okay. Or two. What?
Sam, do you want one?
Hi, Sam.
We're gonna go in like this. Okay.
Sam's backstage moderating.
They're really yummy, Lynn.
All right. Christian, you want to try one? You want to be my taste tester?
I'm eating right now.
This is eating too. Here.
The Ricky Rakes.
You have one with the bacon. Be careful. It's sharp and pointy because I burned the bacon.
The 9.9.
So what's the point one? See, you should
Because it leaked in the bowl.
Yeah. Slipped on my finger.
it slipped. So point one, it would have been better. Pete says too, the eggs may chill better in a UPS shipping box of dry ice. Sorry, but I heard that rumor.
Yeah, right. I'll have to test that out. I wonder where I could send them to.
9 out of 10 for the Arjon's rating.
What do you say? 10 out of 10?
9.9 out of 10. Point one.
Oh, he's saving that 10 for the hummingbird cake.
He said if it didn't slip, it would have been a 10.
These are so good.
They're so yummy, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you put the relish in or not?
Mm-hmm.
You did. So you're liking it.
I love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It doesn't taste pickly at all.
No, it doesn't. It mixes very well with the rest of it.
Yeah.
That's the cake.
The cake is getting. I say another like 10 minutes to cool off.
Do you have that like power freeze on? I don't know if you can freeze
check on
the
the
fridge.
fridge? I always have it on the
What do you think, Christian?
Good.
You like them? You want one?
Sure.
Power cool.
do that.
I think I have to close it.
No bacon this time. We compare.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Because there is a power cool.
We mix it very well with them.
let's do it.
Reason power.
Let's power.
You guys
cool.
remember how much of a difference power freeze made?
Let's do power cool for 2 minutes. That should be good. If you don't want to.
Are we checking our cake? Okay.
My cakes are ready to ice.
Wait, what are you doing?
Yeah, they're ready to go.
They're ready?
Mine are. Did you put yours in the fridge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim Pruitt says, I heard that rumor too at Pete McDevitt. She should send some to me and to you, and we'll see the difference in distance makes a difference in taste.
Look at that.
Mine are still kind of warm. Are yours cooled already?
Mine are pretty cool.
I mean,
Really?
they have like a little
They're
warm.
like room temperature.
Yeah, room temperature.
I don't think the circulation is very good in my fridge.
I don't know if you have like a power cool option, but this fridge has a power cool, so it like
But I don't
cools
have
quicker.
cool.
I'm not cool enough for one of those.
He needs it.
Oh.
All right, well, this will do.
No, don't rush it. I'll do mine and then we'll wait for yours.
Well, my frosting's pretty hard too.
Yeah, we'll just talk and frost and
All right, I'm gonna put these back in the fridge for a few more minutes.
get a good amount on the inside because you want a good layer of
I like
frosting.
eggs, but not with all that stuff on it. So I
All
get
that stuff.
yeah, all that. And Sam said she didn't like it too, so I'm not only.
No, and neither does Steve from Steve's World. And Corey made him try it.
So I give them a blank out of 10
Yeah.
because I don't have
Okay.
a rating.
Nick, you don't like deviled eggs?
Not with all that stuff on it, no.
All that stuff.
Well, Christian said he liked the ones without the bacon better than with the bacon.
Well, I like bacon, but not everything else. You know what you should make for our cooking stream? I'm sure it would be easy too. The whoopie pylon from Flavors for Fire with a little candied bacon on the top. You should make that.
So good.
It doesn't look like it's that hard. It's like a little crushed
It's
graham
like,
crackers.
okay, so the whoopie is basically like
Good idea, Anne. Anne said to put it in the freezer. Should I put it in the freezer for a few minutes?
yeah, go ahead. See how that works.
Thanks, Anne.
Mars says more for our John Sam. Not a 9.9, so he seems to like it.
He loves eggs. Eggs are his favorite. That's the thing. People either love eggs or not. And if you don't love eggs, you're not going to like deviled eggs.
And Richie likes breakfast.
Loves breakfast. In fact, we went, Richard took me to breakfast yesterday. We were getting his car serviced. And he took me to a place, I don't know if you've heard of it, Lynn, called the Metro Diner. It's been on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, apparently, the original one.
I haven't heard of it.
Where is it at? In Orlando?
It's in, is it Winter Park?
Over by UCF.
It's by UCF.
Oh, I love that show, though.
I know, me too.
Your cake is looking awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, I have one of those fancy things I've never used.
It helps when you're frosting. It was under $20 and it came with a whole bunch of tips and things to use for cake decorating.
What were you saying about that place that's on Windermere Drive?
Yeah. It's called the Metro Diner, and it was a breakfast like palooza. It was awesome. One of the best breakfasts I've had in quite a while.
What's your favorite meal of the day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner? What if you could only have one meal type for the rest of your life? Would it be breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Probably dinner. But I love breakfast. But just because I love a good steak or chicken. So, yeah, but I do love breakfast.
Yeah, me too.
I could eat breakfast 3 times a day and be happy with that.
Richie likes his breakfast.
He does. He loves Cracker Barrel.
He even tried to skip work to go to Whispering Canyon for breakfast.
We were trying to make a dinner reservation, and he accidentally hit 7:30 a.m. instead of 7:30 p.m. So we're like, you just wanted breakfast.
That's great. Oh, that looks so good.
Oh my goodness. It's gonna be so yummy.
I'm worried about maybe it won't. It seems like it's a very sturdy cake, not like one that's gonna kind of crumble off. But that's the one thing I'm worried about.
It sounded like one of those ones like from a mix where if you smush it, it would get all like balled up like a cake ball.
Right.
I make a cake pop out of this cake.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like between a banana bread consistency and a cake.
Michelle says, looks great, Donna.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You got the bowl, I see Monica.
Okay, I heard you. Did you put the top to the top? Is that how you put them together?
The what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, top of the cake to the top of the cake, or did you do bottom to top?
So yeah, I did the tops facing each other inside.
Okay.
That way it's a flat surface, which makes it a little bit easier to ice.
Yeah.
At least that's how traditionally I've done it. But I mean, whatever.
What were you saying?
What? Oh, I just said whatever works to make the cake even for you is good.
Well, that's a great idea. I've never done that before. Not that I've made a ton of cakes in my day, but I never thought about doing it that way before.
Yeah, I just thought because, the bottoms were flat and then we had poked at them, remember the tops of them to make sure they were done. So they had little kind of divots. But I always say you can always fix your mistakes on the cake with frosting. So as long as you have enough frosting, all is well in the world.
Yeah.
You can
awesome.
do anything you need to. Oh, hi, Lynn.
I think they're ready.
Perfect.
I'm not sure which place I can use. That'll look prettier on this one. I'm a little nervous about how stiff my frosting is.
Well, another trick you could do is just put it in the microwave for 15 seconds. It'll soften it up a little bit.
Let's see how my first spread goes. Oh, maybe not. I'm overthinking it.
I always overthink it. It's what I do. Ask Rick. He thinks I'm a worrywart, I think.
It's frosting. That's gonna be fine.
Frosting's awesome.
When I was, I don't even think I was still pregnant anymore, but I would buy canisters of the vanilla frosting and animal crackers, and I would sneak and hide in the pantry and eat animal crackers dipped in frosting.
Do you remember Dunkaroos? That sounds like Dunkaroos.
Yes.
Yeah.
They took them away.
I know. Sam loved those.
Me too. They're like makeshift Dunkaroos as animal crackers dipped in a vat of frosting.
My cake is done. Now you can decorate your cake if you wanted to with pecan halves around the border, but they didn't call to do that, so I didn't do it.
Put a little bit more frosting.
Anxious Artist says that Dunkaroos are back. I haven't found them though.
Yeah, I saw them the other night when we were at 7-Eleven after the Gift Gives the World event.
That's right.
We stopped for a drink at 7-Eleven and I saw Dunkaroos at the checkout.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't ask for any. Sam's like, Daddy? Okay, guys, so here's my finished cake. I'm gonna move my drink so the straw's okay. There it is.
Mine looks ridiculous.
You're taking some of this home, Nicholas.
Whoops. I'm clicking.
Should I cut off some of the top of this because it seems like it's too tall?
Oh, it did bake tall, didn't it?
So ridiculous.
What you could do, you see how it's kind of like topsy-turvy? You could take the top layer off again and then just like trim it with a knife so that it's flat. That'll be easier to work with.
Just kind of give it a little trim.
Yeah, give it a shave. The kids will love it.
Nikki,
Delicious.
Nikki Travels says to tell Donna to hold up the cake again and smile.
Oh.
I don't know what she wants this for, but
Okay.
yeah,
I
you're
hope that's
good.
good. Am I good? Okay.
Hopefully.
Mickey Travels is awesome. But as you can see, guys, I mean, recreating restaurant dishes at home is not that hard. And I'll tell you, they charge you $12 a slice for this cake, and it did not cost us that to make this cake. So, I mean, if you like hummingbird cake and you want a whole hummingbird cake at home, this is the way to go. And I can tell you, the frosting is good.
Jay in Nashville says, Corey, so I found all of you the live he did, and he ran into Nick, and Nick was with him the entire night. I do remember. That was a fun night, too.
High School Musical.
That was the... Other than that, it was a fun night. But no, we went to Disney Springs and ate at Polite Pig, and yeah, it was a fun night. I was in the High School Musical shorts.
I'm still getting those for Christmas.
I'm not gonna wear them, so don't get them. Just like we got an old Tinkerbell outfit. Did he ever wear that? Yeah, and she didn't get a picture. I wanted a
I
picture
don't
of
know
it.
why I didn't get a picture of it.
Should have
That was
got.
a mistake.
Should have got a picture.
Mm-mm.
Are you guys doing anything fun for Halloween?
Me, I actually have dinner reservations at the Wade, and my intention is to have a really great dinner there and then go upstairs to the quick service because on Halloween only, they have Halloween treats like special cupcakes and cookies and things like that. I'm going to go to monorail, to all the monorail resorts and get all their Halloween treats and treat myself.
I love that. That's awesome. They have them just for Halloween only.
That's right. Yeah, they're going to have like a special cupcake and I think like all kinds of different desserts and things. So I'm going to see what they have and I'm going to get as many of them as my stomach can handle.
Get extras for the next couple days too.
Yeah, it's good. I have, like I said, I've got my crew with me, so we can share everything, which makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Where is the cake? I don't know if you mean in the the cake is right here, but if you're wondering where it is in the parks, it is at Disney Springs and it's at Chef Art Smith's Homecomin.
Mm-hmm. And everything there is absolutely delicious. I've never had anything bad there. Everything has always been absolutely fabulous.
When Corey had a live stream with Chef Art Smith too, right? A couple months ago.
Did he interviewed Chef Art Smith, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Michelle Williams says, "Are you guys dressing up for Halloween?"
The most I ever do anymore is put like a festive headband and maybe a t-shirt or something that's like, Halloweenish or going on it or something. But other than that, not too terribly much. What about you now? I know what you're doing. You're getting those High School Musical shorts.
No, I'm not. No, for Halloween, I might, if anything, probably put on like a Halloween shirt or, something. But no, I don't think anything.
Neil.
You should get your hair done and go as Corey.
Mickey Blogger.
Corey should go as you, and then you could confuse everyone with your streams.
I couldn't do Corey's hair though.
You could.
Have him do it for you.
Mickey Blog says they're dressing up as a deviled egg.
Oh, I love it. That's incredible.
That's great. I'll be working, so I won't be dressing up. But
Your cake's looking great, Lynn.
thank you. I think I'm struggling a little bit with the frosting.
No. Own the cake. Don't let the cake own you.
You're mine.
Hi, Wendy. Welcome in.
Thomas T says, I'm going to the Halloween parade in May, and afterwards, I'm going to Phoenix.
Wow, that's awesome. Sounds like a good time to me.
So even though I shaved off a good chunk of the top, I have a pretty
Tall.
hefty space of this. Here, let me see.
It looks really pretty though.
I don't know if you guys can see it. The light's really bright on there, but there's like, oh, I missed a spot. But there's such a gap at the edge that there's going to be like the biggest chunk of frosting.
Well, whoever likes the frosting gets that piece. That's what you
It's like all around the edge. It's like the end is that much of frosting, but I don't think it'll be.
That's okay. Frosting is your friend.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they'll never know the difference, and it's like a little hidden gem for whoever gets it.
It'll be like you know how nobody wants the end piece? What?
As long as they're not going to the dentist anytime soon, because that's a lot.
I'm in trouble. All right, I think we're almost done here. Are you just letting it sit for a minute before you cut it, or are you waiting
Yeah,
for me?
well, at Chef's Art Smith's, they put ice cream on it. So I've got some frozen custard that I got from a local ice cream place here, and it's called Abbott's. I think it's a chain. I think it originated in New York. It's a really great frozen custard. So I'm going to put a little scoop with our cake, because that's how they do it at Chef's Arts.
Well, I didn't get that, but this will be enough.
That's right. You could also, like I was saying earlier, put either whole or half pecans or chopped pecans and crushed on the side would be really pretty. You could do all kinds of different things to make this even
A little
more.
cinnamon dusting over the top would look pretty too.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
See if I have any other holes. I think it's good.
It looks good, Lynn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Isaac Nail is here.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi, Isaac.
So good to see you. I'm going to get forks and ice cream.
All right.
In particular, so Donna needs to try to recreate my chicken.
Yeah, that is the one, but I definitely want to recreate pie hibiscus. They're one of my favorite things to get at Chef Arts. And yeah, it was cake time.
Do you want some cake, Christian?
Or she gets ice cream.
Okay, that looks beautiful, Lynn.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You did a great job.
We can show both of you.
We can hold our cakes up at the same time. Maybe someone can screenshot.
Except nobody wants to eat it.
Yeah.
Is that good?
There you go.
Someone take a screenshot. Okay, you're good.
Okay. All right. Should we cut into these bad boys?
Yeah, I gotta take it. Did you take your Instagram picture already?
I did.
Better hope you did.
Yeah, God. Oh my goodness. It's so funny.
I gotta clean the edge like a professional
Mm-hmm.
chef. Wait, what are the bakers called that are professional?
I have no idea. What are they called?
Cake artists.
I can't remember what it
Yeah,
is.
or something. Okay.
Oh, that's not my cake's good side. Okay.
Yeah, they also at Chef Arts do a
Pastry chef.
a pastry chef. Yes, strawberry recipe, but I didn't make one. But here we go.
Uh-oh.
And we got the cake.
Hold on, let me press it.
Ooh.
It looks delicious. I got one more Instagram picture. And I'm eating that cake.
People.
It's oozing out.
Yeah.
Sam, do you want? Yeah.
Oh, I have 2 knives over here
You
now.
gotta rate it. That's what I thought. You gotta rate it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need that big of a piece to see it that way.
All right, well, mine's definitely not holding together quite as well as yours.
Uh-oh.
Richie got a big piece. You better like it.
Piece of that size.
Well, the first piece is always the biggest.
Yeah, I think my top was too fluffy.
You gotta
I mean,
finish
it's
this up.
fork.
Maybe because I didn't have the smaller pans.
Yeah, that
Are
could
we coming
be.
over here?
Okay, guys. We're going in.
See, now we can actually see ours before on the camera.
So this is, see how the, I don't know if you can see that, Donna.
Oh, yeah.
Like
It's
it
probably
kind
cool a little bit. I don't know. I bet it tastes good.
and that's what matters.
Mm. Mm-hmm. That's really yummy.
Mm-hmm. That's
Really?
so good.
Really good. Wow.
It
What's
kind
the
of
rate?
reminds me of like a spice cake.
Yeah, it is. It's really, I don't know, it's different. Like, I mean, it's good cake, but I mean, like I said before, I think it's like a cross between like a bread, like a quick bread and a cake.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
Oh, really good.
Well, Richie's got to give his rating.
Definitely a 10.
Yay! How close is it to Chef Art Smith?
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
I've never had that.
well, you know what I think? I think if we let it like really cool down in the fridge, like I bet tomorrow it's really going to taste like Chef Art.
Yeah.
Right now, but I think once we let it set up in the fridge, I want to know how yours is tomorrow too. I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be even better.
Really good.
Because
Mm.
at the end of the recipe, if I recall, correct me if I'm wrong, it did say that you can make it a day ahead of time and let it sit in the fridge, and then
Yep.
things happen. I don't know that make it better.
Yeah. All the things marry together and they get even better.
Yeah.
That was absolutely delicious. What a success that cake was.
It's really good.
Yeah, they were asking for my rating. Well, Richie gives the numbers, so I'll give a description. I think it's very good. The I like the icing on top. Not like cold, it's not hot at the same time. I like it warmed, and the ice cream adds something to it. Gives it. I like it. I definitely get it.
Are the nuts still crunchy in your cake? Can you taste them in there?
Yeah, it gives it texture. I like the pecans in it. I didn't know if I'm not really a big nut person, but it really elevates the cake, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Really good.
It's no keto brownie, but it's
Richard says no keto brownie, but it's good.
Richie loves the keto brownies.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody send our John some keto brownies. Has he had those aren't those keto cookies? Oh no, they're not keto. Thinking of those like prepackaged big cookies that are they're marketed as like healthy diet cookies.
Yeah, I've seen those.
and they're actually really bad for you.
Oh, I've seen those.
Dave said I gotta drive to Lynn to do a comparison.
Okay.
Get in the car.
My car's in the shop.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
Tina says, Lynn, how's yours?
Delicious. I love it. I think it's not as pretty as Donna's, but it still tastes good.
if it tastes good, that's what really matters.
So what I think happened is that because I used the 8-inch instead of the 9-inch, they got fluffed up in the middle too much. So they had too high of peaks.
Mm-hmm.
And I shaved one of them off, but not the other one. So it had a larger space at the edges.
Yeah.
So it kind of smushed all of the interior frosting away. That's my official.
I want you to post tomorrow on social media, if you can, a picture of a piece of the cake from tomorrow after it's set up.
Yeah.
And what your rating of it is tomorrow. Because I bet it's going to taste even better.
I think that they will taste better tomorrow after it, because we kind of rushed the cooling time and whatnot, that tomorrow it'll probably be even more of a moist cake.
I think you're right.
Yeah. And then more of the flavor will come out from the pineapple and the bananas.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be extra delicious tomorrow.
Me too. I'm excited. Yeah. Dessert for tomorrow, guys. Yay. Oh, but Lynn, this was so much fun. I really enjoyed cooking with you today.
Me too. I kid you not, Donna. I have been giddy and excited about this from the moment you were like, yeah, I like that idea.
Oh, it was such a blast. And I mean, everything turned out so delicious as well. Yeah. Oh, hi, Corey. He says, hi. To see you working together. Of course. Girl power, right?
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you so much for having me on as a guest.
It was so for my first cooking collaboration. I'm so excited. So fun. And it worked so well. I was nervous if it would work, with connections and everything, but it went really well. I'm so excited.
It did. I couldn't be happier with how it all turned out. We didn't have, one or two people said something about the lag, but I thought everything I saw, we had no lag and everything. It couldn't have gone better in my wildest dreams.
Nope, me either. And it was fun. And that's what it's all about. Yeah. We had a fun afternoon with my friends. And for me, that's a win-win. And we have a delicious cake now that'll probably last for the rest of the week. So any doubts it'll last that long. But we'll see.
We have to do small slivers to make it last.
Yeah, it's very good though. But yes, I cannot wait to see you in person again. I'm very excited for that as well. But yeah, before we close out and end the stream, tell me what's coming up on your channel and stuff.
As for, hello. Thanks, Nick.
That was
I'm not exactly sure what vlog is coming out next, but every Thursday we check in and chat and hang out on Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern time, and that is 100% consistent. I'm trying to get more local South Florida vlogs out that I will be doing in the future. And I'm just working on editing today. Obviously, I'm not editing. I'm hanging out with my friends and doing that instead. So, we just have a lot of fun and laugh, and it'll be great. So.
Well, I'm just so glad we got to do this together, and I just had a blast with you. And Donna, I made the eggs along with you. Yes, I'm so glad you did that. Thank you for cooking with us. That's what I love. I love when you guys get interactive and do it along with me. And I want to hear if it doesn't work for you, what happened, and we can fix it and figure out where it went wrong or how to improve it. Or if you did something that I didn't and it turned out great, I want to know so I can try that too.
Right.
So it's a win-win for everybody. I love it.
I really love those deviled eggs. I'll probably start using relish in my recipe going forward because of that, which I never ever touched before. Because
It's not really relishy. You wouldn't think it was, you would, it made me nervous when I started doing that in my deviled eggs, but then I started doing it because, like I said too, you can adjust the amount so it's not as relishy or as little or as much as you like. If you like relish, go for it and put more in. But I think they turned out perfectly.
Really good. That's a solid, like if that was the first time you ever made deviled eggs.
Oh, me? No, I've made them lots of times over the years. Yeah.
It's a great recipe though.
It is. I mean, it's so simple, and it was very, very similar to the one I make anyway. So I was really comfortable making it.
Right. I realized using that recipe that I use way too much mayo before that.
Yeah, you only need a little bit because the egg yolks themselves are really creamy. That's one thing I learned when I first started making deviled eggs, because I saw the recipe and I'm like, that can't be right. You need a lot more mayo, and I put way too much, and I was like, ooh, maybe I should have done that.
Yeah, too much mayo, too much mustard. It's you really don't need that much at all. I really have been overdoing it all these years, and the consistency that the filling got is exactly what it should be. I feel like.
Yeah, it was a delicious deviled egg. Just perfect. It's just like the ones we get at Chef Art Smith. So perfect.
Yeah.
And oh, hi Snow White, and hi Who Dat Dave. Welcome in.
Relish. Hi.
That's so
Corey
funny.
said it's billion.
Oh, yes, I am cooking with Jill from Living in Diz, Corey's daughter, and we're doing that in January. We're going to be cooking an Italian feast, Lynn.
Oh,
Amazing. We're going to be making lasagna, bruschetta, and tiramisu. It's going to be so much fun.
Oh, I can't wait. In January?
Yes, it's going to be a blast. And yeah, that's going to be one not to miss, you guys.
Yeah. You can't miss any of them. Be here every time Donna goes live, you guys.
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, hi, Judy. I don't think I said hello to you.
Hi.
Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Judy. We love having all of you here so much. It just makes my day. But I think we're going to wrap up now. This was just such a blast, and I had the most wonderful time with my lovely friend, Lynn. Be sure you check her out, guys, because she's amazing. I love her vlogs. I love her live streams. I always have so much fun with her. She always brings so much positivity to the table. She's always smiling, and she does the most awesome chair spins of anyone I've ever seen. So
You're so
you won't be disappointed, I tell you right now. But yeah.
Thank you so much, Donna.
Oh, you're welcome. I love you so much, Lynn. You're just awesome.
You are. So much fun.
I love you. But yeah, guys, this was just such a blast, and I so appreciate you guys sticking around. You know, the cakes took a while to cool and to bake, a little bit more than the recipe said, so make note of that when you're making them at home. Because I did have the 9-inch pans, and it still took almost an hour to bake, which is almost twice as long as the recipe said. So just take care of that and allow for cooling time. And if I was doing this again and making it like for a party or something, I would make it the day ahead so that the flavors can all come together and marry, and the frosting can get all good in there. But otherwise, it was a success for sure.
And
yeah, it was just a blast, and the recipes are just good, homemade recipes that Chef Art did for himself. These were recipes he made with his family growing up, so they're tried and true. But yeah, so next week we are going to be cooking again. This is going to be a third week in a row. I go every other week, but this week was a special week. So we are going to be making a Mexican feast. So make sure you tune in for that at 4 o'clock. And make sure you hit the like button and bump the bell on your way out if you liked what you saw here, so you know when we go live again. Be sure to follow all of us on social media. Make sure you check out Nick's channel, Magical News Live. Samantha, my daughter, Samantha Lowe, she's awesome. Wow. And I guess for now, we're going to wrap it up. But
you can get the recipes earlier of Donna's channel.
That's right. Oh, and make sure you guys, it's free to join my Facebook group. We welcome everyone, and we post our recipes in there as well early so you can get your ingredients and cook along with us. So please feel free to join if you haven't. We do have a lot of fun in there. I post if I find interesting gadgets and recipes and things like that, I post those in there as well. So it's just a fun little thing we do, and we post pictures of what we've cooked and things like that. So it's nice and fun and light and friendly, and it's just a happy place. So yeah, be sure to join that. And like I said, we'll be live again next Sunday, same time, same channel. And bring your sombreros and your margaritas, because we'll be making Mexican food. And and until then, I hope you all have a magical week, and I will see you guys next Sunday. So have a great night.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thanks, Lynn.